at that. Well, well, well. Another stream, another game. Today we're going to be playing National Park Girls. This is a visual novel, which I'm honestly surprised no one's really talked about. So, I'm going to show this off to you guys. Alright, I'm going to boot up the game, and we'll get started. Alright. Alright. Most of this game is voice acted, but I'm going to read some parts here and there, including this boot up. So, okay, it's good. Just my screen here. Alright. Thank you for downloading National Park Girls, Love Our Parks Edition. Okay, I want to explain that part too real quick, in case someone gets confused. It did come out episodically. The Love Your Parks editions, or just every chapter, every episode, put in one. Little one purchase, get them all. Okay, so we're going to be playing through as much as we can today. So if anyone's wondering, hey, wait a minute, did I just have like episode 1 or episode 2? That's what happened. Alright, I'm going to continue from here, and then we're going to hop in the game. Please take a moment to set your game. Please note the options can change at any time in the option menu. Oh, I'm going to do that one. There you go.
We're almost to my favorite part! We're almost to my favorite part!
I think that should be good enough. Well done. We probably should have brought this up from the get-go. But finally, before you steal a national park, all the national parks have to offer, please note the National Park Girls features content that may not be suitable for all players. From what I understand, that's literally like the last two. Yeah, it seems like the last few episodes. So, if you're a content warning, no. Thank you, that's it. As a reminder, all settings can be adjusted in game at any time. The setup will not show up again. Change music. Press screen on the main menu. Wait, didn't really do that. There you go. No. Oh, they got National Park facts. Pretty cool. National Park Service was founded on August 25th, 1916. And here's some of the credits. I'll quickly scroll through these. Alright. We're gonna start. You can get us on Steam, so if anyone's interested, playing it for yourself and not get spoiled, there you go. We're going to start with chapter 1, being cabin fever.
Sorry, sweetie. It's stuck. Can't go any lower than that. Is that right?
Alright. I click down on the switch. The sputtering rumble across from the window, vibrating beneath the rushing wind as it rips through the car. Well, I'm gonna. And poof. figured this story has. Huh. Maybe I can just, I can pull it up and, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna save right there. Right, save data. No. Huh. Should have figured that out from the get-go. There you go. I click up on the switch. The window slides the rest of the way up with a smooth purr. Click down again. Smooth purr. It stops halfway. Sputtering rumble.
Yep. There's actually a funny story about that.
Jesse laughs guiltily, waving it off with a shrug and a smile.
But I forgot what it was.
We smack a bump in the road. The car jolts up, tossing me into the door. I glance in the side mirror as we drive away from a pothole.
Every problem in this park has a story. And there's a lot of stories.
The park makes do with what it has, Eve. We're resourceful that way.
I roll my eyes as she gives a reassuring grin, but her reflection in the stupid, broken window tells a different story. When I'm concerned, rivers of coffee and a decade of overwork. There might be even a small wrinkle encroaching on her cheerful, round face, but I don't dare say anything. I'm quippy, but I don't have a death wish. Not yet. Yosemite this time of year is a mixture of green and white, where the winter snow still speckles the peaks of the stone-gray mountains and blends into spring's revived trees. I close my eyes and let the whistling wind blow onto my face. Whistling wind. And for a second, I almost feel like a little girl again. Right in the back of Dad's pickup truck as we zip down the roads of Tioga Path, I think that's the name of it. I'll have to look some of these up later, but anxious to explore the next trail. If it says it, well, I'll just use that pronunciation. If not, I'll look it up. But right as I remember the smell of sweet, fresh air, a van speeds past us, leaving a trail of toxic fumes. The memory is ripped away. The lingering exhaust resembles the similarly gray sky. I have to wonder, if a storm cloud forms, but it doesn't rain, is it still full of water, or is it just hollow? Santa crackles out of the radio.
Situation 1 has been resolved. Over.
Jessie peels Mike off the dash, one hand on the wheel as she shifts to her supervisor's voice. Actually, I'm going to change the option on that. I hope so. There you go.
10-4. Fill me in on the details.
I really I can hear it, but I don't know if you guys can hear it.
The reports ended up being at 10:56. White male, early 50s. He was stumbling around when I got there. Stopped discharging his firearm as soon as he saw me pull up. Looked like he was shooting at some bottles.
I scoff. Don't even try to hide it. Jessie shoots me a narrow look.
No altercation. But he didn't need to take a breathalyzer for me to know he was wasted. He's in custody now.
I can almost see the bags catch themselves under Jessie's eyes as she heaves a deep sigh.
It's only paperwork. All right. Thanks, Ernie. I'll be pretty late, so you can have the yogurt in the fridge while filling out the report.
Wait, he's still with the porcupine?
My teeth grit against each other. My shoulders stiffen.
Tell him, girl, we already missed her moves. Hope those two Lumley campers have good dental.
I reach over and rip the mic from Jessie.
Shut your mouth, Hernandez, or else it's gonna be your fat ass who needs the extra dental work.
Jessie wrestles the radio away from me as Ernie cackles over the radio.
Just have that report on my desk by tomorrow. Over.
I'm still trying to grab the radio by the time she throws it back into the dash. Groaning, I cross my arms and stare at thousands of tiny daggers out the window.
Jeez. just trying to get a rise out of you. Why do you always take the bait?
Because if they actually cared about their jobs, they'd be angry too. Not that it matters.
At this point, I'm not even sure I care anymore.
It's not everyone, Eve. There are people out there who still care.
Who? The campers? Because I can show you some rocks and trees that a certain artist thought made a good canvas.
I swallow the urge to spit.
That kind of stuff doesn't get fixed overnight.
A shadow cast over Jesse's piercing glare.
Neither did his fractured jaw or your suspension.
I slumped back into my seat. Feelings of shame or regret are completely absent. All else there is the gnawing emptiness that always sneaks up to my chest and lingers there. Jesse's face softens. The tender expression reminds me of Betty.
What happened to you? You used to be such a cute cadet.
What? I'm not still cute?
I flare my lashes and roll my eyes. Normally, backtalk like this would get anyone from any profession fired, and secretly, I hope it does.
It's that attitude of yours. I remember when you were energetic and determined.
She shoves me.
Be like that again.
They beat that out of me a while ago.
Jessie frowns for a moment. Then she grips the wheel and strains a smile onto her face. Her dimples look like tight drums.
Then let's see if we can cram some of that back in.
By a transfer?
By a change of pace. You'll love the meadows. It's a little chilly this time of year, but you can bundle up in the cabin. Which you'll have all to yourself, by the way. You can thank Ranger Smith's gin habit for that.
And the
Camping population? Jessie bites her lip. Her eyes dart across the road.
Don't think you're clever. We used to visit Tuolumne every summer when I was a kid. I know they have a campground there.
She relents with a sigh.
It's mostly hikers and mountain climbers right now, since the roads just opened. But I'm sure they'll come piling in as it warms up. I expect you to do
your job.
Great. More babysitting.
Remember what you signed up for.
Trust me, I do. Or I did before I realized the park was just the public's dumping ground.
That's why the National Park Service exists. We can't protect every square inch of land, but we can manage parts of it.
I scoff.
If only. For most of these people, the parks are just toll roads. They pay to get drunk for a few days. They'll sit around the campfire and talk about how much they connect with nature, and maybe even write poetry about it. And then they'll leave the fire smoldering, forget to pick up their trash, and leave.
Jessie cringes and audibly swallows. She stares at me with this uncomfortable gaze, like something ugly she can't look away from. And the truth is ugly, so fine, let her. She puts on another one of her smiles.
Well, that's why we're
here, right? That's our job. Enforcing the law to protect the land. But who are we protecting it for?
I stare with Jessie with flat eyes, waiting for an answer. I know will never come. Likewise, she side-eyes me, waiting as the radio occasionally crackles with a report.
The same people who are destroying it.
I lean back into my seat and stare out the window.
And where's the justice in a job like that?
The sun pokes through an opening in the clouds, but sea and gray swallows it soon after. Jessie says nothing. I hear her fist squeeze around the rubber grip of the steering wheel. Knuckle pops and silence. We pass the clearing, and the force that's been trailing us up until now stops. In the distance, I spot the smooth stone peak and a Lambert dome. Sometimes we would make that hike when I was a kid. reached the top, I always felt like I discovered a higher perspective. Everything seemed so small, the answers seemed so clear. And I wonder, if I stood up there now, would it be the same? Is what I do important? Does protecting this land and preserving its dignity serve any purpose? And if not, does anything? By the time we began passing families of pop-up tents and lawn chairs, the sky has dimmed into a deep gray. Silver, slivers of blood orange and red glow out from rockets open sky. We hook left and take a sharp, beaten path. Tires crunch over the dirt and gravel. Stop. Jesse puts off the ignition. Birds chirp in fresh silence that only breathes through the air when a vehicle stops.
We're here.
I'm out of the car before she even finishes, dragging my luggage out from the back. Arching to a stretch, taking my first unobstructed look at the cabin. It's a modest building, guarded by a crowd of trees that extend far into the air, while bringing over the pointed roof. Nearly every inch of the cabin is built with the same sanded down wood. It's inoffensively smooth, tree bark has more texture.
Not too small for you, is it?
Jessie walks up beside me, twirling the keys around her finger. I glance over my shoulder. The campground is hidden behind a thick row of trees. Small glimpses of tents poke out behind them.
Nah, it's perfect.
The wood creaks under our boots as we climb up the steps.
There's another station nearby, but they mostly oversee boring bureaucratic stuff. They'll leave you alone, but you might have to hand out permits if they're ever out for lunch or something.
Alright.
Do I have discretion?
Not a chance, sweetie.
She shoots me down with a song in her voice and a spring in her step.
Knowing you, you'd tell them to jump in the lake before ever letting them fish in it.
She got me there. The musty smell of damp wood wafts into my nostrils as she opens the door.
Ooh, cozy.
Jessie flips on the lights and steps aside.
That's one word for it.
My face betrays my sarcasm, though, as a smile creeps over me. It reminds me of a shoebox diagram. While the space is utilized, everything is exactly where it should be, from flops up bed nests in the corner to a fireplace built of rock. There's not even a TV. There's a rocking chair and a lived-in leather couch that sits around the coffee table. Jessie slides her finger down the desk, then squints as she rubs it against her thumb.
Huh, not as dusty as I thought it'd be.
Maybe Ranger Smith liked chugging Windex, too.
I drop my bags and frisbee my hat at the couch. It misses and lands lopsided on the floor.
Not unless he snuck back recently.
The hardwood floor bends beneath my weight as I explore the rest of the cabin, wandering off to the expected stone fireplace. An unburned log sits on a pile of ash. Cobwebs weave around the well-swept corners and polished floor, as if they were intentionally avoided. This place is clean, but whoever the neat freak is must have not had any guts. A fuzzy spider trapezes from the ceiling. I look to make sure Jessie isn't looking, and give it a tiny wave as the pendulum's in front of me. When voice drops to a whisper.
Hi.
What was that?
Nothing.
With a quick swing, the spider leaps away from me, landing in the middle of a trio of paintings hung on the wall above the dining table. Arranged in a triangle, each painting showcases gorgeous landscapes and scenic vistas. Their location is scribbled in the corner, no artist signature. Yosemite, Zion, and Yellowstone. All national parks, all beautiful. The spider crawls on painted Zion. Lush greenery sprawls out into a deep valley below, covered on both sides by fiery red cliffs and mountains. The Yellowstone paintings of a winding trail spiraling to the top of a mountain. Splotches of vibrant greens are scattered across the rich mountainside. Beyond it, flat plains stretch into the distance before dipping into a canyon. That one right here. And finally, above them is Yosemite. You know exactly what this painting is of. You only need to take a few steps outside to see it. It's a breathtaking view from the top of Landmark Dome, overlooking all of Tuolumne Meadows. From the thick forest to the Tuolumne River that winds all the way to snow-speckled peaks of the Sierra Mountains. In fact, I get up there so many times before, I could probably point out exactly where we are. Kinda wish I was up there now. I would scream my guts out. Scream until I was hoarse. No one would hear me. This might be my favorite of the three, but something feels off about it. After a bit more squinting and head tilting, I decided this painting is too crooked for its own good. The frame is so off-center that if there were a hiker in this painting, they'd plummet to their deaths. With a soft grip, grab the sides of the painting and begin to delicately, slowly, gently straighten. A sharp squeak roused through the air, so glad I could feel it in the floorboards. Shivers crawl up my spine and nearly up down my uniform.
Geez, so jumpy.
Giggling, Jessie squeezes past the dining table and rests against the counter.
It's just the cabin settling. This place is old, so it's gonna be a little noisy.
Her voice drops an octave. All is missing is a flashlight below her face.
Kind of spooky, huh?
Not really.
The cabin squeaks again and my shoulders tense. Jessie grins, thoroughly entertained. Me?
Some of the past rangers stationed here always said it was haunted. Personally, I think it was just something in the coffee.
She picks up the percolator off the stove and rattles it around. Flipping open the lid, she pulls out a small bottle of bottom shelf again.
Our tax dollars at work.
Just be happy we're not privatized yet. Make sure to recycle this later.
She hands me the bottle and tampers it off towards the cabinet. I sit back down on the counter and fall behind.
Question. When was the last time you were at the range?
To shoot? Oh, God, I don't know.
Scratching my head, think back to the last time I unholstered my sidearm. Despite the faint temptation by being surrounded by obnoxious campers, it's about as rare as in the clips.
About a year ago, I guess, when you dragged us all down there on our day off to practice.
She unlocks the cabinet, leaving the key in as she opens the door. A cylinder gun leans against the back.
An off day for you guys, maybe. I'd kill to just have one weekend off.
The words slip out of her. As soon as they do, she glances at me, and then the gun.
I didn't mean, like... You know I won't actually.
I stare straight through her as she fumbles around for words. She coughs.
Anyway, what we have here is your standard issue pump-action Remington 870. Also known as a shotgun.
A bright machine glistens off the gun, both the butt and the pump sharing the same glossy wooden finish.
Fancy. This actually doesn't look like it'll fall apart in my hands.
My eyes drift to the desk radio that was surely used by the Navajo code breakers in World War II.
Count on the DOI to have their priorities straight. When have I ever turned down new equipment?
Judging by the bedroom eyes she's giving the gun, I think the answer is pretty clear.
Still, this is a bit excessive. I don't need this much heat for grunt work.
A sidearm and a shotgun? What is this, the force of your life?
It's just a precaution. Hopefully you never have to use it. It's not like everyone is asking you to carry it around on patrol, which I expect you to do every day.
Can I do that before sunrise? So I don't have to talk to anyone, ever?
Absolutely not. I will not allow you to be a weird forest hermit under my watch. You need to have some positive experiences, okay?
My mind blinks out into a field of static. Jesse's tangent gains more momentum. As my thoughts wandered, I started to hear more noises. The creaking in the cabin, the howling of the wind, then actual howling. Wait, actual howling? And Jessie heard it, then she's ignoring it, as her ranting continues to go places entirely unrelated to my recent entropy. Scratching against the scuff at the door. First is as soft as a whisper, then it can maybe even be a branch or leaves. The longer it goes on, the faster it gets. It seems desperately calling into the wood. Break away from Jessie, tiptoeing to the door.
Hey, don't walk away. I'm scolding.
I hush her with a finger to my lips. We go silent. Using a cold knob, I ease open the door. Nothing. Yeah. A yelp squeaks out below me. I went down and come face to face with the love of my life. An adorable puppy. His floppy ears barely reaching my ankles, hands in front of me. The small paws scratching my boots.
Oh my god, buddy.
I drop to one knee. My heart melts as I stroke his soft, fox red fur.
What are you doing here, pup? Huh? Are you lost?
As if answering me, he gives a tiny howl, but it breaks into a yelp. With a whine, he snuggles into my knee. I'm dead. This is heaven, and I'm dead.
Eve, get away from that. Shoo! Shoo! Get out of here! Get!
Puppy howls back, briefly challenging it, but whenever the giant merciless boot lunges forward, his compact frame lunges back. The fight continues onto the porch. With one last growl of defiance, Puff scampers off into the bushes. His ears poke above the leaves as he stalks us from the brush.
What the hell? He wasn't doing anything. You scared him.
Good. Maybe it'll stay away then.
I glare at Jessie like she's the devil incarnate, because she is.
Don't give me that look.
I reinforce my gaze for more steel.
Orphaned coyote pup. Started coming around the camp, and Smith, in his infinite wisdom, decided to feed it.
I glance towards the bush again, but by now he's gone, hiding somewhere in the shadows as the sky darkens. I'll need to set out a dish for him later.
Don't.
Jessie scolds me with a single wag of her finger. Did she read my mind?
I didn't say anything.
But you thought it. And if you have any sense, you'll...
She pauses, glancing up at that. The last glimpse of sunlight is snuffed out.
I'll lecture you another day. But for now, I have to get back to the station. Before Hernandez eats all the yogurt.
With a nudge from her elbow, she starts for the truck.
Yeah. Because asked for me.
I stare at the scuff marks on my boots, tracked with dirt and dust from all 1,200 miles of the park. Not nearly as polished or shiny as Jessie's, or even that gun.
What's wrong? I thought you loved dirty jokes.
It's nothing. I'm fine.
In the far reaches, behind the cover of trees, I see the orange glow of a campfire. The muffled chatter after the campers carries from across the woods. A tender smile spreads across Jessie's face. She sweeps me under her arm and into a hug. The thing of breaking away, but her gentle warmth is nice. And it's kind of cold out.
You're going to do fine, sweetie.
Yeah. bust open the next guy.
I rest my forehead against her badge. The edges dig into my skin.
Hey, don't think like that. I didn't vouch for you because I thought you make the same mistake twice. You're a good ranger, Eve. If more of us were like you and cared more about what's around us and less about our pensions, then the Force would be better off. This will be good for you. If you can straighten yourself out here, then you can do anything. So try to have some fun, okay?
Okay.
I grumbled it out. She has too much faith in me. You know, that was true at some point, but now I can take or leave the pension and the land. None of it matters. Not to the wigs at the top, not to the public, and not to me. Jesse swings his arm around my shoulder and walks us to the truck.
And besides, I'm just a radio call away if you ever miss me. I'll call every day to check in.
Yay. Can't wait.
She climbs into the truck and starts it up, revving the engine so loud, I expected to shake off all the rust that's carved itself into the bumper.
No slacking off now.
She dropped the keys in my hands and shuts the door. The headlights streak in the night air, beaming against the silhouetted cabin. The window rolls down, all the way down. With a confident smirk, Jessie tips the brim of her hat.
And Eve, you're wrong.
It might actually have been pointed that if that was the last thing she said before leaving. But it hadn't even been 10 minutes when she drove back and barged through the door in a panic. She left the key to the station on the lanyard she gave me, and the key to the library, and the key to the toll booth for the south entrance. I swear, Teddy, how seriously that woman takes her work. She has no right to be as airy as she is. So, I guess I'd start to slip a little too if I were working on an endless stream of hours. She got as little acknowledgement as she does. After 4 years, it's hard not to respect her. There's not a moment where she isn't on a call, or filling in for someone, or blazing through reports. Yet somehow, she manages to stay as bubbly as dishes though. How is she able to stay so peppy and motivated? I can't figure it out, and I doubt I ever will. Anyway, that's enough about Jessie. I swear I write about her at least twice a week. Let's talk about my newly assigned post, Teddy. The cabin itself is fine. Definitely more my place than where I was before. The furniture is old and cheap and perfect. I'm looking forward to the last bit of rain for season, so I can feel the warmth of the fireplace and listen to the raindrops patter against the roof as I doze off on that lumpy couch. If it weren't for the circumstances, it might even be a dream come true. But in the end, I know why I'm really here. And deep down, regardless of her comforting words, Jessie knows why I'm here too. Teddy, the fact of the matter is this. I'm here because I snarked off one too many times. Scratched one too many jaws. I can't choke back the last speck of pride about what it is I do, and that makes me a problem. No matter how hard I try, I can't detach myself. Not completely. There's still a small spark. All I want is to snuff it out. And that's why I'm here. For penance and training. Call it what you want. A new post. A live-in job. But I know what it really is. A purgatory. My pen hovers over the page. Insists from carving my thoughts into stone. Once that happens, they can't be taken back. It's a scary thought. Sighing, I drop my pen and reach for my mug. Instead of the lukewarm coffee I've come to tolerate, all that's left is brown rig crusted around the bottom. I stretch out of the chair and let my longest yawn at least 20 minutes, maybe even 30. I drag my carcass to the stove and pour myself the last of the coffee in a big cooler. Steam rises from the mug. The coffee is thick and sweated around like motor oil. Overcooked and bitter, it almost tastes like it too. But I'm not a snob. Coffee is still coffee, even if a gas station will whip up a metal brew and percolator works as well as anything else. Besides, there's a charm in that, isn't there? enjoying things that are inferior and outdated. I'm forced to stare at my reflection as I sip the coffee, but the student turns into a foggy murk and I can't see anything. It's all that oil seeping to the surface. Gross thought, but it doesn't matter as long as it gives me energy to keep going. Journaling is hard work, maybe even harder than working for the Park Service. Originally, it was just a way to get out all the energy that was bubbling around inside of me. Butterflies, hopes for the future, dreams of making the park experience even better. But that eagerness morphed into a slow realization, and over time, that morphed into whatever I am now. Journaling because time for sharp Journaling became time for sharp, focused reflection. It's a good way to cope. Some people drink, some people get high. I complain about everything to a notebook. By now, I at least have a dozen of them filled out. Teddy, volumes 1 to 12. I like to think they all share the same consciousness. The cup warms my hands like Rico's car. The wind kicks the cabin, and if I listen closely, I can hear some nocturnal whispers from outside, chirping from crickets, the steady shaking of leaves. Makes me realize just how thin of a barrier from the outside world this place is. A cramped, fenced-in box. The only thing keeping me from that same darkness is out there is a few dim lamps. Small choir of laughter and chatter echoes from outside. Reality decides to give me a slap in the face as I open the curtains and peer through the window. A group of four shadowy figures trip and wobble through the brush. One of them falls flat on their face. They laugh even harder than before. Speaking of needing buried from the outside world, step over to the desk and snatch the flashlight. As I march over to the door, I remember that I've changed out of my uniform into tattered jeans and a flannel. Hardly authoritarian. I reach over the couch and grab my hat. Better. The brisk air kisses me as I swing open and switch on the flashlight, shining the beam right in their faces. It feels like they are about to be mowed down by an oncoming semi, but after quiets and the hushed chuckles, the only one with half brain tells them to shut up. One of them stashes a bottle in their coat. The one up front, the smart one, squints at me through the light. His shoulders relax, and he throws me a casual wave.
Oh, hey, are you on break too? Wanna hang?
A dozen more of these kids could mistake me for another student their age, and still wouldn't stop me from traumatizing them with my eyes. Slip on my hat and stay silent. The Old Testament fury Abrahamic God shows his face. They all shrink back.
Do you know how many people go missing out here?
What?
I said, do you know how many people disappear in these parts annually?
He looks to his friends for an answer. They shake their heads. He looks back at me and shakes his head. The entire group shakes their heads together.
I'm sorry, I don't...
His hands are raised in surrender, the embers of a cigarette glowing between his fingers.
Another question.
Yes, ma'am!
Our voices bounce across the woods.
Do you know how much paperwork I have to do if one of you as so much steps on a pine cone?
Is it... a lot?
His friends nod. He nods back.
Yeah, a lot, right?
Let's just say it's more work than you probably turned in this entire semester.
That gets a laugh from one of his buddies. He shuts up as soon as I shine a light on him.
Do me a favor and stumble back to camp, okay? I'd rather not have to explain to my supervisor how you all fell off a cliff.
The two girls hidden behind the others give me dirty looks. The kind of idiots give the fast food workers when they're told that they're out of fries. I turn the flashlight up to the highest setting. They all let out a collective groan as they shut their eyes.
Go on, you heard me. You can bum around all you want once the sun comes up.
I point the light at the path back and brighten the way. He takes a few steps back and gives me a gracious nod.
Sure thing. Sorry for the trouble. Have a good night.
I won't, but thanks.
They follow the beam of light back to the path, letting them make sure to flip me off along the way. I switch off the light as they disappear into the brush of trees. They all actually do fall off a cliff. Corpse. As I turn to go inside, a speck of movement rustles in the bushes. My body goes numb. I freeze, only allowing my eyes to drift over to the source. Nothing. Turning around, I creep forward, reaching for a sidearm that isn't there. I step onto the dirt, the porch creaking behind me. Then the bush shakes with a surge of movement. A ball of fire explodes through the leaves. Its paws scrape across the ground before skidding into a stop up at my feet. Breathing a sigh of relief, I bend over to greet my friends.
Decided to come back, huh? Couldn't resist my charm.
His ears spin back as I scratch the scuff of his neck. He almost looks deranged while I pet. His goofy looking pupils struggling in the center of the whites of his eyes.
You're an unbelievably giant dork.
An ear flops over. If my heart has strings, you can play the fiddle.
This isn't fair. I might seriously die.
I glance over at the empty food dish near the door. He ate every bite. He has to be sleepy by now. Just look at that belly. It's so round and cute and pink, and I'm going to die from inside just know I am. Doesn't take much to coax him in. All I have to do is stand outside and puffs runs inside on his own, hitting every piece of furniture like a pinball.
I usually offer coffee first.
He nearly somersaults across the floor. My dusty laugh actually gets some use for once. A gust of filling wind breezes past me. It lifts off my hat, but I grab it back in time. Strands of my hair fly in the same direction. Trees sway violently, shaking their branches like angry fists. Clouds curtain the last sliver of the moon, submerging the woods into a darkness deeper than any sleep. Cold seeps into the notches of my spine. I run the water back into me, locking the door on my way inside. Like thunder, Papa runs up to me as I enter. Then, like lightning, he rolls back onto the couch. I grab a pillow from the bed, then me and Pop at the couch. His front legs stay perched on the back of the couch as he peers over it.
Oh, no, you don't.
Snatching him up by the fat of his neck, he nips at my wrist, but it tickles more than anything. Drops the pillow, then drop Pop on top of it. At first he tries to wriggle free, but I keep the pressure on his back. He eventually gets the message and lies down.
I'll get you something more comfortable soon.
My leg brushes against the coffee table as I get up. A stray magazine catches my attention.
Jeez, Jesse, did you leave this too?
A bag of lemongrass seed sits between the pages, acting as a bookmark. She don't have anything else she could use at that time. Or was she just lazy? The cabin creaks with the blowing of the wind. Puff's ears stiffen and alert as he quietly gazes at the closet door. I went down in the magazine. The map of the park is paired with the article. Every exit to the park is circled in red. Wrapping up your stay, leaving Yosemite. The night races right past me every time I look up. The clock has passed another hour, and the gap only grows larger. In the corner, Pup gnaws at his ankle. Teeth chatter as he tries to chew the fleas off his skin. I flip through the thick stack of pages I've written all night and weigh them between my fingers. Not a bad way to begin a new journal. Smoothing the smell of fresh primer puffs out at me as I pulled it shut. Yawn slips out of me as I shamble over to the bookcase. Light reading before bed is never a bad way to end the night, especially eerie nights like this. Frost has settled around the edges of the windows. Such a fog strokes the glass into the darkness beyond it. It's like staring into the black black of a pupil. Warmth and comfort flicker in my chest. I run my finger over the spines of every book. Accessing Yosemite and Atlas and Guide, Best Day Hikes, Yosemite National Park, Corruption in the National Park Service, Yosemite Mafia, Complete Guide to Yosemite National Park. Almost every book, brochure, magazine trains back to Yosemite, other parks, or the National Park Service itself in one way or another. Even a few pieces of fiction can't escape it. Novels like The Yosemite or Yosemite Thunder. Reading over the alphabetically ordered books, I start to notice gaps. 15 volumes, spaces between books. The kind you see at a library when something's checked out. Things only get more perplexing as I arrived at the bottom shelf. A giant cardboard box sits alone on the shelf, bursting with stacks of paper and folders. Balancing at the very top of the pink folder with bright bubble letters that drawn in crayon. Miwok Research. Surrounding the letters are crudely drawn squirrels and toothy rabbits. Some are colored in with precise strokes, never frustrating and just out the lines. Others are so widely scribbled in, and trails so far outside the line. I'm pretty sure an 8-year-old sure I could do better. As I reach down and grab it, I draw on a squeak rings from the kitchen. The distinct sound of bending hinges sends my heart racing to my throat. That wasn't the cowboy settling. Pup bares his teeth. A low, vibrating growl rumbles out of his tiny body. He sounds primal and large. Just like earlier, his ears point into the air. He stares at the corner, and I follow the direction of his snout. The closet. Just a skip away from it, the cup by the sink hangs open, so easy to a stop. The hardwood floor bends beneath my feet as I walk over. Suddenly I lose traction. My feet slide out from under me as I slip towards the counter. I yelp, my forehead almost colliding with the sharp corner of the counter. I reach my hand out and grasp it. The edge scrapes across my palm.
That was a little too close.
I give Pop a stern look. We still fixed on the closet door.
Did you do this?
For once, I hope the gross answer is the correct one. But looking ahead, a trail of water leads to the closet. I start to think I'm not that lucky. Muffled clips of noise whisper from behind the door, heavy breathing, quick bursts of movement, and hushing. My mind flashes back to what Jesse said today. About this place. My past range decided it might be haunted. No, snap out of it, Eve. I slapped my cheeks and pushed the idea into the far reaches of my head. There's only one explanation for this. One of those campers from earlier snuck in here somehow and is just trying to give me a good scare. Yeah, that's all it is, of course.
What did I tell you morons about sneaking around?
I project my voice, trying to muster up the same bravado my high school gym teacher always seemed to have.
You're trespassing on federal property. That's serious stuff. Come out now and I won't slap cuffs on you.
The noise stops. I count the seconds in my head, but nothing steps out of the closet.
Fine. Don't say I didn't warn you.
I stomp over to the door, making sure my steps are loud enough for whoever's on the other side feel. I was free for a second. Twisting the knob, I pull it open halfway. Two pale eyes blink at me, poking out from underneath it. Okay. Poking out from underneath the yellowing sheet. I slam the door shut. Oh crap, I didn't actually expect someone to be in there. I grasp as the bang rattles the closet door. Another bang. As loud as a gunshot. The door bends from the hinges. I stumble back. My foot slips on another pedal, but I brace my leg. Somehow, I'm standing. There's a final explosive bang. The door swings against the wall. Every light in the cabin zaps off. The electricity surges down around me. The sudden darkness forces a scream out of me. I slap my hand over my mouth and swallow back the terror. Damn, you know where I'm at now. I'm breathing quick, panicked breaths. Footsteps. Say that. So I like that scene. And through the darkness, the form of a towering silhouette begins to take shape, illuminating the doorway. Puff's growl evolves into a series of vicious barks. I stand my ground, puffing out my chest and sticking back my shoulders. Ghost, intruder, bear, whatever it is, it's all I can think to do.
What do you want?
I call out to the lingering shadow. The shape of its head tilts, as if it's something, if that's something unexpected.
You do not belong here.
A voice rings out in the darkness, gravely and dry, but also light. Higher than I expected the demonic presence to sound. Not that I believe it's demonic presence or anything.
This is my post. And according to my supervisor, I do.
We do not concern ourselves with the laws of mortals.
We?
The dim glow flickers from the closet, illuminating a figure in blood red. Powder dressed from their soaking hair, their fang shadow in their eyes. They stand unnaturally straight, as stiff and dangly as a corpse. Colorful patterns weave around their leather clothes, beads wrap around their neck. A girl? The ghost in a sheet hovers past her, floating in the air. A shiver tingles down my spine as it levitates several feet in front of me. This has to be a prank. I'm getting punched. Jesse's earning in on it.
Leave us to our resting place.
Yeah, I'm pooped.
A high-pitched, energetic voice shouts out from the closet. The tall figure kicks back her leg. There's the opens the red light around her flickers for a moment, then reappears.
No!
Thunderous and wind hammers against the cabin. Her shout reverberates through the wood. A moan hounds from the sheet ghost, muffled by the fabric. Spooky in the same way I try to make ghost noises on Halloween is.
As much as I'd love to, and believe me, I would, I can't do that. I'm already on thin ice.
The tall figure stutters. While I can't see her eyes, I can't make out a deep frown.
Are you trying to reason with a vengeful spirit? Do you have any idea how ridiculous that is?
Do you have any idea how ridiculous your request is?
That isn't my problem. Basic instinct prioritizes survival over income. You understand that, right? It's not complicated.
Basic instincts get written over by basic training. Besides, it's not about the money. You're not a very perceptive spirit, are you?
She sounds in a brooding, raspy voice that cracks apart, and she breaks into a fit of coughs.
Just shut up, okay? Shut up!
The bravado in her voice is all but gone. The vengeful spirit is now merely a frustrated one.
If you stay here, then whatever happens is going to be your own fault.
The red light behind her flares up, tinting the walls with a blazing glow. Puff sparks return with killing intent. The sheer goat lunges at me through the air. I spin around, diving for the gun cabinet. Come on, Jesse, come on. Please tell me you forgot to lock it. Pull the handle and the door opens with my momentum. Yes, I knew I could always count on you, Jesse. Remind me to take you out to dinner if I don't die here. The shotgun still leans against the back of the cabinet, undisturbed and untouched. As I reach up and grab for it, the metal crushes in my chest as I hoist it into position. Adrenaline pumps through me. I push down the safety, wrap my finger around the trigger. Strands of hair stick to my face as I stare down the barrel. At my feet, the ghost stares at me, firmly on the ground, directly in my sight. The trigger finger shakes. I shake. The temperature in my blood plummets, my body freezes with impulsive rioting. This isn't what I wanted from the shop. I never wanted to hurt people, point guns at them, or punch them in the face. All I wanted was to protect. Power drags across the gross stretches back. Pump dances around his feet, his tail wagging as he tugs away the sheet like it's a game of tug of war. The sheet falls to the ground, and I finally get to see what, or rather who, is attached to those whirly legs. A Like a burglar caught in the act, she stands there, wide-eyed and trembling. Louise wrestled off her tiny beige dress, but was always seems to be more stuck to her. Even her long, brushed out hair as twigs and leaves shaped into a wreath resting on top of her head. But more interesting than all of that are the pair of wings protruding from her back, feathery and white like an angel's in a painting.
A kid?
And a little one at that. I could scoop her up in my farms if I wanted to.
What on earth do you think you're doing?
A shadowy ghost stomps across the floorboards, making a beeline directly before me. Panicked, I shifted the gun to her, but she was already towering over me.
Not another step.
Her green eyes glare at me. In her intense anger, they almost seemed to go as she grasped my hand around the shotgun. I closed my eyes and let my voice tumble into a shriek.
Get away!
Pulled the trigger once. Twice. Nothing. That can't be right. My eyes snapped open just in time to see her wrestle the gun from me.
I thought they taught you goons better than to go around and point these things at people.
She moves to remove the bullets from the chamber, except there are none.
And if you do, then make sure they're loaded. Did they hire you out of pity?
And it's back to the cabinet. A small box of shells that's discarded in the corner. Of course. I stumped further onto my back. This is it. I'm dead. Probably what I deserve. The little girl, paler than the sheath she was wearing, was perhaps the bigger ghost. Her eyes full of tears.
Yosemite!
She lets out a timid squeak and dashes behind her bigger friend. She wraps her stuff around her legs, content to stay only half hidden as she sniffles.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Zion.
She brings the little one in closer and frowns, watching small tears trickle down her cheeks. From far away, she looked like a creature from a horror movie. Unnatural blue hair with frosted white lips, her entire body drenched in that red glow. But after seeing her up close, watching a concerned watch over her, she almost seems like a normal girl. Almost.
Zion? Yosemite? Just who are you people?
Her head twists back to me. My shoulders tense up. I skid back, there's nowhere else to go.
Silence, mortal. We have haunted these grounds long before you were here.
The red light from the closet fades away. The lamp stirs back on along with the rest of the power.
And we shall haunt them long after you've returned.
To the ground.
She pauses. I blink at her. She blinks at me.
Yellowstone?
Yeah, boss?
The closet answers back.
Wanna tell me why the lights are back on?
Well, because I flipped them back on, duh.
I can see that. But why?
I slowly reach for the gun. One chance to take it back. Maybe even the shells too.
Because the jig's up. She's not buying it anymore.
A teenage girl springs out of the closet. Her clothes are a colorful array of pastel, and her bright twin tails bounce up and down. She might be the most normal looking one out of them all, if not for one distracting detail. Right from the top of her head, like a mountain erupting from the ground, is a giant cone. Flattened at the top, in various shades of brown, it reminds me of a volcano from a child's science project. Is it a costume? A hat? Looks like it blends right into her hair.
See, she's already getting ready to flip your lid.
The bigger one glances back at me. My confused is I completely forgot my hands hovering above the gun. Rolling her eyes, she yanks it away and slides it to the other end of the room. She squats down. With a flat stare, she gives me a flick on the forehead. A dull pain ripples through my skull.
I know you're eager to take my home away from me again, but let me sort this out first. Okay, gunslinger?
I soothe my forehead while grinding my teeth into fine powder.
No, not okay. How about you try doing that again?
slimy grin squirms across her face as she raises her hand. Again, thumb and finger ready. I brace for the next flight, but before I can come, Pup hops to my rescue and wanders at her ankle. She stumbles away in time, and Pup stands his ground in front of me, snarling.
Good boy.
Good boy.
What did I ever do to you? I give you belly rubs and everything.
She whines. Pup howls. I think I love this little guy more for each passing minute.
Zion, sweetie, can you keep the fluff ball at bay for me?
The little girl, who has since retreated to the kitchen with her other friend, gives a quick nod.
Okay.
With intense focus, she flaps up her little wings and drifts across the room, patting her lap as she calls for Pup.
Hey, boy. Wanna play?
She puckers her lips to whistle, but only air comes out. When she realizes that won't work, she clicks her tongue. Digging into her hair, she untangles a twig, then waves it around for all to see.
I grew a new stick for you. Please like it.
Pup's head snaps up. The snarl melts into a smiling man as he dashes over, completely forgetting about his duty to protect me.
This was a disaster.
The tall girl pinches the bridge of her nose and sighs.
No small part thanks to your lack of commitment.
She turns to the one in the kitchen, whose head is bobbing back and forth to a silent melody.
I was tired.
She slumps over the counter and groans.
Oh, we've done this like a million times. It's the pits. We do it because it works. That last guy rarely stepped foot in here after we gave him a good scare.
So, they really did think it was haunted.
That's because it is. Now go away. She's different. Dollface over there put up a fight.
The whole face, I'd be annoyed if this weren't so confusing.
I don't like her.
You don't like nobody.
She's Snoopy.
She gives me a suspicious eye. Or if I can save data. No. She gives me a suspicious eye. The feeling is mutual. Conehead grabs the tea kettle from the stove and skips over to us.
That's kind of why I like her.
She flips open the kettle's lid and holds it up to her tall friend. The tall one wrings out her hair like a wet rag. Water, more than a sponge could retain, flows into the kettle. When she stops, the water is near the top and her hair is bone dry. What the hell?
Well, I'm glad you feel that way, even if it's incorrect.
Fingers begin to wisp out from the opening at the top of Conehead. A red glow crackles beneath it. Seriously, what the hell? Delicately, she balances the kettle on top of her head.
Lemongrass again?
Please, and don't sneak sugar in it this time.
Steam begins to rise from the spout of the kettle, followed by a simmering whistle. The whistling gets louder, and the arguing drags on. Pup barks as he rushes across the room to fetch a stick. The steam grows thicker. And as the noise builds and builds and builds, I feel my blood boiling in my veins. Any fear I had has been suppressed by the intensity for some peace and quiet. For some clarification. For something that actually makes sense for once. Coming to my feet and drawing as much air as my lungs can take.
Will somebody give me some answers?
The chatter fizzles out. The wind girl shrinks back, making Pup close to her chest. The kettle sounds like a train whistle. All eyes are on me. Finally.
Now, will one of you tell me who exactly you people are? I've never heard of a ghost that can touch people, or one having wings, or whatever that thing on your head is. Are they costumes? What is your deal?
The leader of the three scoffs and turns away with folded arms.
Oh, is that all you wanted to know? I could tell you that much.
Hey, don't tell her our secrets.
Cool ya jets. I'm just gonna tell her who we are. But first, I want to know who she is.
She looks at me with a big, expectant grin. The other two stare, awaiting The answers framed from stiff silence.
My name is Eve. I'm a.
Ranger?
I work here.
Satisfied with my non-answer, she gives an affirming nod, the kettle bouncing on her head.
Howdy-o, Eve. Nice to meet ya. In case you didn't catch it, I'm Yellowstone.
She points to the wall with the paintings.
This Earth Angel is Zion. She's a cutie pie, and I love her lots.
Zion's pale cheeks turn red as she gives a little wave.
Love you lots, too. And then there's Yosemite. She's like our big sister. I love her lots, too, even when she's being a crab.
Yosemite says nothing. Glance at the paintings and pair each one with a girl.
So, are you each named after a park? Are they nicknames?
Yellowstone tilts her head and blinks.
No,
She points to herself.
I'm Yellowstone.
She backs away and rushes over to Zion, hanging from behind.
This is Zion.
She runs back to Yosemite and smacks her back. I can practically feel the blood and slaps as Yosemite nearly leaps out of her skin.
And this is Yosemite.
Somehow the kettle stayed balanced on top of Yellowstone's head through all of this. Try putting two and two together, but keep ending up with 5.
So, what are you saying? You are the parks?
Face scrunches in thought. Steam evaporating seems like it could be coming from her brain herself. She looks to Yosemite for answers. Yosemite nods.
Sure, that works.
Alright, I'm radioing my supervisor.
But why?
Told you no one would understand. I don't know how you're pulling off these magic tricks, but trouble is trouble. And you 3 are definitely that.
It's been around to start for the desk. Panic wraps Yellowstone's face as she switches between Yosemite. Kettle whistles above her until she finally decides to hand it off to Yosemite.
One sec.
She snatches my wrist, feelings for her head and puff behind her as I try to pull myself away.
Let go!
Do you just not believe us?
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you, I don't trust you, and most importantly, I don't want to deal with you. Her feet drag as I tug her behind me. Her grip is surprisingly firm. With each step, she squeezes harder until I can feel her fingers pressing into my bone.
What if I can prove it?
Don't bother. Just get your painting and the rest of your stuff. We need to go away for a while.
She ignores Yosemite and keeps pulling, digging her heels into the floor. Her grunts get more pained as she wraps around her hands around my forearm.
Please, just a chance.
Our cargo line passes Zion, and Pup. Why do I keep saying Zion? He puffs and tail wags and he looks at her, waiting for scratches and pets. Zion looks up at me with her vague, sorrowful eyes that only seem to get bluer as she gets sadder. Pup paws at her dress. His ears flop. The single heartstring inside me tingles. There's that fiddle again. I sigh, stopping before Yellowstone can yank my arm from the socket. I just love that puppy too much.
30 seconds.
Yellowstone smirks. A twinkle sparkles in her eye. Grabbing my wrist tighter, she turns to Yosemite.
Back in a jiffy.
Wait, Yellowstone!
Static crackles through my vision. Ground gives way beneath me, and I plummet down. Further and further, falling towards nothing. Helpless dread washes over me like a smothering wave. Then, darkness. Howling wind blasts through my hair. I hear leaves rustle as the air was past my cheek. My legs dangle below me. I look down. I wish I hadn't. Far below me, a thick forest sprouts from the jagged edges of a mountain. hundreds of feet of air between me and the bottom.
Hey, how's it hanging?
I look up to see Yellowstone peering over the cliff, still holding my arm. Moonlight spotlights her gigantic grin.
Oh, God!
Cool view, right? Do you believe me now?
I flip my head in all directions, realize they are far off so west of other hills and mountains, all of which look like ant holes from up here. The scream finally breaks through, louder than I knew I had in me. Higher, too, and travels farther into the distance.
Help! Pull me up!
Whoa, stop moving so much. I'm gonna lose my grip.
Don't let go! Don't let go!
My body swings like a pendulum. I grip Yellowstone's hand tighter.
Aw, you don't like it?
No! No, take me back!
She whines, puffing her cheeks out as she pouts.
Jeez Louise, don't flip your wig.
I pull it upwards, like I'm being sucked up by a vacuum. The wind tunnels around me. Then I'm back in the cabin. The warmth feels like a hug, and my legs feel like jelly. I drop to my knees to catch my shallow breath. Yosemite paces around the room, slapping at her tracks as soon as she sees us.
You! Is your brain made of mush? What were you thinking?
Yellowstone sticks her arms out like the wings of a plane and spins around the room. Zion goes with the Yellowstone circles around her. Pep sits impatiently below them, his tail sweeping back and forth across the floor.
That I can make her believe, duh. I think it worked out pretty well.
Yellowstone just run across the screen.
Does she look well
Do you? My teeth chatter as I try to warm myself. I'm shaking. My entire body is shaking.
I was here, and then I wasn't, and now I'm. What the? Oh, God.
The plane runs out of jet fuel and Yellowstone stops.
No, but I thought we could finally.
Listen to me.
Her voice is sharp and serious. Zion winces. She squats down and grips Yellowstone's shoulders, meeting her at eye level.
What if something happened? What if she got lost or hurt? What would you have done then? Or worse, what if something had happened to you? There's a reason I try to keep us hidden. You know what they're capable of, what they can do.
She mutters to herself.
Of course, that's all out the window now.
The cheerfulness leaking out of Yellowstone seems to have dried up. Yosemite's grip on her loosens and she shrinks away.
Guess I messed up pretty bad again, huh?
Yosemite just gives a deep sigh. It reminds me of a disappointed parent. Zion tugs at Yellowstone's hand.
I think you did a good job, Yellowstone.
Yellowstone gazes down at her with a sad smile and squeezes her hand back. A long yawn squeaks out of Zion. I mean, that's the shoe. But only the tail of it is audible.
Looks like someone's sleepy.
She rubs her tired eyes and nods.
Mm-hmm.
Yosemite combs her fingers through Zion's fairy tale hair.
Get her ready for bed while the human and I negotiate.
Okie dokie.
That's the saddest okie dokie I've ever heard.
I'll be right there to tuck.
I'll be right there to tuck you in. Might even tell you that story about the swallow you like so much.
Swallow story? I don't remember that one.
For a moment, Yosemite freezes, and she shakes out a chuckle.
No, of course. Why would you?
Leading her by the hand, Yellowstone pulls Zion along the bathroom. Puff trots along behind them. When the door shuts, Yosemite turns back to me. Her posture stiffens, perfectly straight and all business as she walks over to me.
You alive?
She towers over me like a giant cyclop. Oh, I'll have to look at some because I don't think that was right. I feel her footsteps vibrate beneath me as she gets closer.
Just leave me alone!
I crawl to the nearest corner and hunker down, using one of Zion's fallen branches as a shield.
Relax. I'm not actually going to eat you, or whatever you think I planned on doing.
I hurled a branch at her. Skin is past her shoulder.
I don't care. Just go.
One catches in my throat. I'll go around the mess that's been made. Streaks of water on the floor. Toss away gun in the open cabinets. Take a look at the whole cabin. Small and homey, but I still know what it's really for. It's a purgatory. A sanitarium clean me of my any lingering pride. This is my punishment. And if that's the case, maybe it's not actually a purgatory. Maybe it's actually hell. Bring my head to my knees and keep it there.
Hey.
Hey, are you okay? I'm sorry about that stunt she pulled. Yellowstone always gets too excited for her own good. Her voice softened, sounding more like she's talking to Zion than a foolish mortal.
Just leave. Please.
I swallow back the emotion, but my voice still cracks.
I just want today to end. I'm tired.
She swoops down in front of me.
Well, you're in luck, because I have a truce to propose.
I look up from my knees and sniff. Yosemite is inches away from my face. She gives me a gentle grin.
I'm listening.
To get right down to it, we're exhausted too. It's been a long day for us, so how about we let you sleep here for the night, and then, in the morning, you can call your supervisor and send us on our way.
You think I'm dumb enough to fall for that? You'll murder me in my sleep.
In the time it would take to strangle you, I could read half of an entire book. Why waste my time with it? Besides, wouldn't you rather not have 3 trespassers wandering the park at night?
She's not wrong. I have a campground to think about, too. If they started causing trouble with campers, then this goes probably even further out of control.
Look, just take the olive branch. I'm trying to play nice.
Think about it for a moment. Or I might wake up after being smothered by a pillow. Or I might not even wake up at all. Or if I do, I might not even be here at all. But it's dark and late. My brain is slush and fog. So I humor her.
I'm not going to get a bullet to the face while sleeping, am I?
Only Neanderthals use guns. I think you're proof enough of that.
That's an insult, but she chuckles. Not very funny to me. I think again.
And I get the bed?
Her joking smile stripped away. She sighs.
I guess there are sleeping bags around here we can use. So what do you say? Do we have a deal? Or is this night going to get even longer?
She extends her hand, and for the first time, I notice her ears poking out from under her hair. Both are slender and pointed, with tips as sharp as daggers. I don't know who these people are, or even what they are, but I do know that I need some damn sleep. I grab her warm hand, and she hoists me onto my feet.
You've got yourself a deal, but you're out of here first thing in the morning.
Cabin fever. Meet Yosemite, Zion, Yellowstone. The warm wetness slaps against my chest. Humid breath sticks to my face. My cut is crushed open and dressed to the edge of my bed. With his front paws perched on the comforter, Pup continues breathing in my face. His wild tongue dangles below his jaw.
It can't seriously be morning yet.
He pushes himself off the bed and scampers away, sliding across the floor like it's an ice rink. Childish giggles fill the room, and now familiar sound of wings flapping like an overworked engine follows. Zion huffs and puffs her way around the corner. Puff runs behind her. I couldn't have slowed for more than an hour. As Dan Clark seems to be confirming this, his foggy memories of me glancing between an intruder tucked away in the sleep bags come back to me. 6:30, 3:45, 4:20, 5 o'clock, and finally 6:30. Goldilocks tried sleeping on the beds and the bears were hibernating in the corner. She sets her walk until she eventually gets mauled. I peel myself out of bed and draw a shirt at the curtain that divides the room. When I'm done changing into my uniform, I slip back out and catch a whiff of something delicious.
Good morning, Miss Eve.
Zion stops playing with Pup to give me a courteous bow. Through the open window, a blue bird flutters in and rests on her shoulder. I already wish I was back in bed.
Rise and shine, Eve who works here. Catch all your Z's.
Yellowstone peeks out from the kitchen, whisking a bowl and say circles. Once again, a kettle rests on her head.
They must have slipped through my fingers.
Or out of your mouth. When you aren't shifting around, you sound like a broken trombone.
Going over at the table, Yosemite is chin deep in a book and sifting through the pages. Papers litter the table. Some sprawled out like a shuffled deck of cards, some others stacked into leaning towers. A cardboard box sits right in the middle, acting as an eye to the storm. Without taking her eyes off the book, she raises a coffee mug into the air.
Yellowstone. Tea.
Just a jiff.
Yellowstone Power walks over, balancing the bowl in her arm. She tips her head and pours the water from the kettle to the cup. The process is delicate like a ballerina bending into the shape of a swan. Nevertheless, through the teetering and tottering, the kettle stays balanced on top of her cone head.
Want me to replace the bag? It's pretty much water now.
Don't be wasteful. There's still some flavor left.
Fine, fine.
Yellowstone gives to the fee aside, same one I give every time I have to tell someone, yes, you need a permit to fish.
How about you, Eve? I saw you chugging coffee last night. Bet you take a black, huh? You seem like the type of kid who takes a black.
There's a pause as I try to get a handle on the stitched together combination of English and slang. A Frankenstein of language.
With a little sugar, actually.
Dang, thought I had it.
She snaps her fingers as she returns to the kitchen.
Oh well. Hop a squat. I'll get you a cup.
Squat a what?
She means sit down.
Must have a gun hold.
No can do. I have my job to take care of. Patrolling, permits, calls.
Tattling on us.
Her eyebrows bounce up and she takes a sip of her tea.
Priority number one, I assure you.
I give her a phony smile that lapses into an eye roll. I hope she sees it. But she's right though. Completely slipped my mind. Because when it became clear they probably weren't going to kill me, my mind started drifting to more abstract questions.
You can do all that later. Just breathe in that fresh morning air for now. I'm making flapjacks. Yay.
Except her quiet cheer doesn't match her solemn face.
Don't worry, cutie. I'm making you a veggie omelet.
Zion's strong-treaded face lightens out. Hopeful but cautious.
Will you use the mushrooms I picked the other day? I can if you go get them for me.
With an excited nod, Zion shuffles off into the closet. Where Zion goes, Pet follows. That bird does too.
Remember to wash them.
Yosemite calls out, but neither answer. Zion digs around in the closet. Yellowstone comes to herself out of tune and off key.
Fine. Don't cry to me when your stomach starts growing fungus.
The frying pan sizzles in the background as everyone goes around the morning. Swept up in their routines, while I swept to the side. With not a whole lot else to do, except fear for my life, and let's be honest, not a whole lot left to fear for anyway, I grab my notebook and sit at the table. Since it's round, I had no choice but to face Yosemite. If it bothers her as much as it bothers me, she doesn't show it. She grabs a blank paper from a wobbling stack, so I scribble on it, constantly referring back to her book. Sharing person, sharing a person, or thing that tried to run me out of my post doesn't exactly thrill me, having to stare at them the entire time, even less so. Still, I make an attempt to clear my mind and start jotting down the events from last night, where my uniform was tight and restrictive and squeezes around my joints like a python. My writing is similarly uncomfortable and stiff, reading more like a report suggesting than a deep emotional expression to Teddy. Not that there's much of that left in me anyway. The assailant exits the closet, the perpetrator wrests the gun from him. There are just a couple examples. It's accurate, coherent enough to get the information across, definitely, but just right enough to be vague and frustrating. I experienced it, and even I hardly know what happened. Hell, I hardly know what they are. They aren't ghosts, and I'm an idiot for buying that, even if as briefly as I did, but they aren't quite human either. Although, after all their ears and wings and volcano heads, might as well be people.
Some sugar or sugar?
Yosemite sits down with a cup of coffee in front of me, a trail of grainy sugar still swirling around in it. There's an explosive pop from the kitchen. Smoke plumes above the frying pan.
My flapjacks!
She rushes over like an overworked waitress at a diner and lowers the heat. And me, I feel like a traveler exploring the cosmos, about an alien society and everything they do is fascinating and how mundane it is.
It's not polite to stare. If we freak you out that much, you can turn around. Or leave. That would work too.
You'd like that, huh? For me to leave you alone so you can just keep mooching off this place.
Are you expecting a no? All the other goons always ran off to the outpost down the road as soon as they caught wind of us. Only ever came back if they had to get something. And never alone.
And that sympathy from last night has evaporated with the steam from her teeth. And all that's left is her condescending smirk. It drives me nuts.
Well, I'm not like the others. Thank God. It doesn't take much to scare the apathy into them.
But not you, huh?
I'm open to suggestions.
I throw back the coffee like it's the nastiest double shot to the side of happy hour. The scalding liquid funnels down my throat, then I surrender to my journal. Yosemite watches me with a focused squint.
What's that? Official report to the head goon.
The lead as the tip. The lead at the tip of my pencil snaps under the force, leaving a skid mark streaking across the page.
Journal. Sorry to disappoint.
Her ears twitch at the mention of journal.
What kind of journal? For documenting information? Studies?
Just a journal. I use it to wring out the last few drips of dams I give. Keeps me anchored to reality.
I look up at her, tracing my way from her black roots to her blue hair, down to the frosted white tips. Her hair looks like a waterfall pouring over a cliff.
And boy oh boy, do I need that.
She deflates, as if I'm the one responsible for sucking out of wonder curiosity of the world.
Suppose I should be proud of you, though.
I keep writing, don't bother looking up.
After all, how many of you suits actually know how to write?
God damn it, I can't help myself.
You think we're dumb?
I think you're uneducated.
Look, I'm not wild about my coworkers either.
Glad we're in agreement.
But give us some credit. Or at least give me credit. You know what a school is, right?
Something I assume you didn't go to?
No. For me, school was years worth of crap I had to sludge through to even get a sniff.
And was it worth it?
Her question is like a splash of cold water to the face, forces me to decide on whether I want to give the easy answer or the answer that will send back my heart.
Popular opinion is a giant no. It might be if people cared, but they don't. And even if I thought it was, if those people are the ones I'm protecting this land for, Nothing will ever make it worth it.
Yosemite yawns, her face lumped against her cheek in boredom. She returns to her book.
Wow. I was almost expecting something insightful.
Don't like the answers? Don't ask the questions.
It's not the answers that bother me. It's the rotten little mind behind them.
Lightning cracks between us. We glare at each other in silence. My eyes will roll out of my head before I blink.
You two can duke it out after breakfast. Time to chow down.
Yellowstone swoops in with 2 platters of fluffy stacked pancakes. A thin slice of butter slides across both of them, melting down the sides and mixing with the syrup. I poke at the pancakes with my fork. Is it poison? It seems safe. In fact, it looks delicious. Like a picture read straight out of a menu before you get to real soggy. Cutting a pie-shaped sliver off, I dip it into a shallow pool of syrup that's accumulated the sides of the plate. Yeah, why not? If it's poison, at least it's gonna taste amazing. I take the plunge. Warm sugar drizzles down my tongue. The rich butter oozes out of my pancakes as I chew. There's a hint of crispiness from the slightly charred rings around the sides of the cake, balancing out the taste of the sugar. Practically dissolves in your mouth. I swallow.
Holy crap.
A moan slips out of me, almost a gasp. It wouldn't be embarrassing if this weren't so shocking, or delicious. Oh my god. Yellowstone giggles.
Like it?
Unable to resist, I dive in for the next piece. I nod as I talk through the food.
Yeah, it's sort of amazing. How did you even...
I'm basically the chef around here.
She beams with a proud smile.
And the maid, and the dishwasher, and the laundry. You could say that I'm a jack of all trades. Master of them, too.
I'll say. What did you even put in this?
Trade secret.
Yosemite flips to the next page.
It's brown butter.
No fear!
A dark cloud of steam travels out from the opening in her head. I think I smell sulfur.
Well, whatever it is, it's delicious.
I wash down in shock with coffee.
Thanks.
Yellowstone's eyes grow to be as large as the platters pancakes are on.
You really mean that? Thanks?
Would you prefer I tell her to piss off?
Yeah. I was just planning on living off canned sausages while I was here.
Tears creep to the corner of her eyes. A whimper, then a geyser of water rushes from her head.
Whoa.
Holy smokes! I didn't think being complimented would feel so good. You're a good.
You're a good gal, huh? The water umbrella is over her. She moves in for a warm arm hug. Not overly fond of hugs. Getting my uniform soaked with tears before work, or touching, scoot away in my chair.
That gives me an idea.
She bounces back like a spring. The whip lashes gives me a concussion.
What if, and stay with me here, instead of us leaving, or you leaving, or anyone leaving, what if we just live together?
Absolutely not!
Like last night? But every night.
Just give it a think. We already have a solid setup here. We could keep the place nice and tidy while...
We all have a solid setup here. We can keep the place nice and tidy while you're wage slaving away all day. I'm too stunned to outright decline with any kind of resolve. Jane was naivety. But kind tied with a bone given to you, it's an impossible answer with harsh realism. Genuine, and it's familiar. The food will always be as good. Maybe the idea isn't what, Eve? Isn't it going to happen? Because the only thing it is. Remember why you're here. Look outside. Because the land you love, and look at the scavengers to stomp over it. Now remember why you're here.
I'm only here because it's my job. Last I checked, woodland sprites aren't on the payroll. The pancakes were good, but I'm still radioing this in.
Yellowstone's excitement is snuffed out like a candle.
Aww, I thought it was a pretty good idea.
Yosemite heaves a small sigh of relief.
Stop scaring me like I've had more than enough of this misery.
Before I can bite back, Zion scampers up the Yellowstone with a cutting board. The blue bird from earlier picks at the dried mushrooms and that line the board.
Does that mean we'll have to find a new home?
She stares down at the mushrooms dejectedly. The Yellowstone reassures her with a smile.
Don't worry. Yosemite knows a lot of neato places to hide. We can just trust her to take care of us like always.
We'll be back soon. She won't last long.
She leans into the table alongside with me.
It's the eyes. They're almost as dull and lifeless as the others.
I don't give her an inch, remaining flat and unblinking.
Your flapjacks are gonna get dull and lifeless if you don't eat them soon.
Yellowstone shuts Yosemite's book and scoots the platter forward. Like a sponge, the pancake has absorbed most of the butter and syrup. With a futile grasp, Yosemite stretches for the book, but it's just out of reach. She sulks, then stabs the pancake with a fork.
I was reading that? Now I'll have to find my place again.
Thank you, consistency, for following. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Too smart for a bookmark?
Too smart. Yeah, we're playing National Park Girls today, which is a visual novel you can find on Steam. It's under the Love Your Parks edition, where you have Ranger Eve right there on the right, Zion right to her left, Yellowstone to Zion's left, and Yosemite all, well, I'm not going to tell you. That's something for the rest of the stream. But this is the Park Ranger, and we are currently in Yosemite National Park. And I hope you enjoy this as much as I am. It's mostly voice acted too, except for parts that are just monologues for Eve's head.
Smarter than you.
Hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy your stay. And don't know where I was going with that. Thank you for the follow. We both take a bite out of our pancakes, chewing, and give her the fakest, most plastic grin I can manage, forcing the dimples until it hurts. She does it right back. It's like staring into a twisted funhouse mirror.
It ain't a big dealio. Your brainiac butt has read all those books at least 50 times by now.
It is a big deal. You'd be surprised by how much you don't pick up on the first time around.
Her gaze drifts over to Zion, who's now crashed down with Pup, and nest of mushrooms. A touch of sadness flashes through her eyes. The first time I noticed the bags under.
Or how much you forget.
Too bad Eve isn't sticking around long enough for us to use her credit card. You could have ordered tons more books. And groceries. More fresh veggies, please.
I'm sorry, what?
Yosemite slips out her tea and shrugs. Yeah, I figured that was going to happen.
Just be happy you goons are useful for something. They usually cancel the card after the first couple charges.
I try to choke back a chuckle, but it comes out as a snort. This probably isn't the kind of stuff I should condone, but the image of someone like Ernie opening a monthly statement with an unexpected charge of $600 brings me more joy than they probably should. And honestly, screw Ernie. Tugging at Yellowstone's jacket, Zion raises the cayenne board up as a reminder.
Omelet. I'm gonna croak from hunger.
Yosemite winces at croak. Please stop teaching her
your second language.
But Yellowstone ignores her. She bends down and takes the board, her expression melting into one of complete adoration as she gestures over Zion.
Sorry. Do you want spinach on it too? Mm-hmm. Don't cook it with butter though. Huh? You sure? I want you to have enough energy to go hiking with me later.
I don't think so. After you're done here, there's a whole lot of cleaning up you have to do.
Give me a break. I just swept the other day.
And now the kitchen is a disaster zone. Clean before we leave.
Grumbling to herself, Yellowstone slashes about into the kitchen.
Maybe things wouldn't get dirty so quick if you actually rinsed your dishes.
What was that?
Nothing, Chief.
Yosemite returns to her book, occasionally picking at her pancakes. When she's positive, Yosemite isn't looking. Yellowstone pokes her tongue out at her. That's weird. I wouldn't expect some kind of hierarchy to exist among them. Conehead and Pixie seem to revere her like a big sister. All that's missing is her flipping through a nature magazine while hogging the phone. You also do that, right?
Must be pretty gripping if you can't tear yourself away from it for more than 5 seconds.
It's not. Just some accounts from a miner that passed through these parts a long time ago. But it helps.
With your research?
Her brow furrows, and she gives me a side-eyed glance.
Want to tell me how you know that?
You have a folder that literally has research written on it. Wasn't hard to put 2 and 2 together.
Look, it does math.
It does facial reconstruction too.
She pinches her eyes shut without a groan. With a groan.
I knew your snooping would be an issue.
Don't get your yoga pants in a bunch. I didn't actually see anything.
Such from the pancakes, I'm getting back in the chair and mo. I don't know how much butter and sugar she put into those things, but my uniform feels like a button might pop off.
Gotta say though, I'm curious what someone like you could be researching.
Yosemite pushes up against the table. A gleam of excitement colors her face.
You're curious?
Excitement clouds into suspicion.
Why?
Just Stam?
Being so close, I get a good look at her fine pointed face. No loose skin, no flab, not even puffy baby fat around her cheeks.
Can I get some personal space here? I don't want to catch your personality.
Damn it, if I squint hard enough, she's actually kinda cute. She pulls herself away and goes silent.
My curiosity is waning.
Shut up.
Biting the bottom of her lip, she glances back and forth. She sighs and closes her book.
You see Yellowstone's head?
Her voice drifts to a hoarse whisper as she leans in. I do the same.
How could I not?
What does it look like to you?
What does this have to do with any...
Just tell me what it looks like.
A volcano? It looks like a volcano.
And can you guess what has a volcano?
Yellowstone National Park, obviously. But volcanoes don't actually look like that.
You're not going to get anywhere with that kind of linear thinking.
She moves on.
And look at Zion.
I do. She hovers in the air, keeping the omelet out of Pup's reach. Waves her foot off her like Autumn.
No, this isn't coyote food. It's not good for you.
See those leaves and branches? Pretty lush, right?
Sure.
Remind you of any particular painting?
She points her thumb at the wall. I glance back and admire the painting of Zion National Park with its deep greens and mix of fiery resin beiges.
Wait. Are you saying...
Starting to get it?
My mind skates to the obvious.
Yeah, the 3 of you like playing dress up. Real cute.
It's amazing how you keep finding new ways to disappoint me. Let's try this again.
I noticed an arc dribbling out of her mouth. After all, disappointing people is second nature at this point. Myself particularly. Yosemite scoots against the table. She points at her face, specifically the freckles dotted across it.
Are you giving me permission to slap you?
I'm giving you permission to learn. Now touch it.
Closing her eyes, she sticks her chin out and waits, when expecting a kiss. I have to reach out my hand. An overabundance of caution keeps me from going any further. It was some kind of trick. She tried to scare me away, didn't she? While stopping her from biting off my finger. Wouldn't be the first time someone tried that while I was on the clock. As sure as I remember that man's blistering, bloodshot eyes. He had been delirious, caked in pine needles and mud, and tattered clothes. I'm telling you what he was all hyped up on. After dressing to make sure I was okay, she shrugged. It takes all kinds, she said. Yosemite nose wiggles impatiently. Besides, she's probably harmless. Waking up alive is good evidence for that. Even if we only tossed verbal punches at each other, she was the one who offered the truce. That has to mean something. I can't shake the suspicion completely, but I do reach out and brush my hand over her cheek. The gravely and rugged texture scratches my fingertips where a freckle should be. It finally clicks with me. These aren't freckles at all. They're more like scales, or pebbles glued to her face. Just to make sure, I sweep my hand up and down her face. Between the patches of pebbles, her soft skin grows a flushed pink.
Said to touch it, not to caress it. Jeez.
I grab one of the pebbles between my fingers and tug on it. Instead of ripping it off, Yosemite's skin is stretched right behind it. She pulls away, since the tears glisten out the corner of her eyes.
You didn't have to be so rough.
My mouth hangs open as the confusion bounces around like a tumbleweed in my head.
Is that rock?
Well, it sure isn't costume jewelry.
Lying, she steers her pulsing cheek. I twist around and look at the top painting the pyramid. Homework dome. Saw glimpses of it on the drive here. If I stepped outside, I could see it now. Every time I've ever climbed up there, it's been gravely, and it's been rugged. Gravelly, and it's been rugged. Most mountains in Yosemite Valley are. Think back to Yellowstone's explanation from last night. It's ridiculous, it's absurd, it's basically fantasy, but if there's any other explanation, then I can't think of it.
Your Yosemite National Park.
Dear God, did I actually just say that out loud? Am I going crazy? Is that what's happening? Yosemite gives a satisfied nod. I'm convinced that I've taken a one-way trip on the crazy train. I'm riding this locomotive off a cliff, emphasis on loco.
Now you're starting to get it. Finally.
I try to choke out more words, more questions, but they dissolve into breathy stutters. Yosemite looks on with an amused smile. Far away laughter and chatter breaks through the silence. From outside, I hear the snapping, crunching twigs and leaves. Voices get louder, past the cabin, and tamper up.
Just what are you? What are you really?
Yosemite's smirk fades into a frown. Her eyes scan the mess of books and paper and stay there. Her hand grips the table and her nails dig into the wood.
You don't know?
I hardly believe the genuine shock from her voice. I'm not actually buying this garbage, am I?
That's the winning question, isn't it?
She swings back into her chair, breaking her way to her straight posture. She sighs, drawing in a deep breath, but releasing it as a quick puff. Her frown relaxes into a smile. It's a soft smile, the kind people have when they're nostalgic, thinking about a family member that isn't around anymore.
Do we not know? Or do we just not remember?
I can do without the cryptic crap.
It's anything but. I'm telling you what I know. And what I know is that I'm Yosemite. Just like they know how they're Zion and Yellowstone.
Okay, sure. But how do you know?
How do you know that your stomach rumbles when you are hungry? Did someone have to explain the concept to you?
How long have you known?
I don't know.
Have you always known?
I don't know.
Do you know anything?
If I knew anything, I wouldn't be trying to figure it out.
She shoots up out of her chair and glances down at me. Her voice cuts through the air like a dagger. Her little outburst throws the room in silence. Yellowstone coughs from the kitchen. Puff's tail spikes up in alert. I stare back, pretending to be unfazed, but secretly I'm tense. My muscles flex against my uniform. In the thick of the silence, Zion tiptoes over the table. She latches on to Yosemite's hand, her own tiny hand only managing to wrap around 3 fingers. Wordlessly, she gazes up at her with deep, bleeding eyes. Yosemite's sharp face softens back to a solemn smile. Her hand engulfs all of Zion's. She strokes her palm and fiddles with her fingers. Zion gives a ticklish giggle.
I have these fragments that pop into my head. Bits and pieces of a language I don't know. Faces I don't recognize, but seem familiar.
Her voice shakes. hovering above a whisper, breaking at the end of words.
And whenever I think I figured it out, and it's on the tip of my tongue, I forget.
She shuts her eyes tight. As if trying to envision these things herself, the grip around Zion's hand tightens. Zion doesn't pull away or even wince.
They're like echoes that ripple further away with each new epiphany. It just gets quieter and quieter. It's so frustrating.
Her voice straightened out of her through gritted teeth.
But if I can figure out just what we are, where we came from, then maybe I can finally remember.
She opens her eyes and they look older. It feels like she's staring right through me and gazing at the paintings hung on the wall. I'm just another obstacle getting in her way.
So yeah, I don't know anything, but I'm going to.
Well, good for you.
The way she's always staring at me is unsettling. Is it a simmering anger? Reluctant curiosity? I don't know. And if I knew what was good for me, I wouldn't care. I whistle for Pup. He bounces over, and in a moment of impossible patience, sits at my feet. He looks up at me, his sad brown eyes connecting with mine as he looks at shops. And there's a stare I can care about. I tear off a piece of my leftover pancake and toss it at him. Springing from his hind legs, he leaps into the air to snatch it. It bounces off his nose, and instead of any amazing acrobatic display, he twirls and circles until he finds it on the ground. Bravo! Across the Zion stares, pouting.
It's just a treat. It's not gonna kill him.
The group of voices from echoes back from outside, rowdier and louder than before. There are ways away, but I can still pick up on the occasional gratuitous curses and a obnoxious laugh. Don't go already, kids? Of course, who might judge? Cut one month of this job and I'll be investing in a flask. Giving my morning coffee extra kick it needs. Your Smith might end up being my life model. Praise to be Smith. There's so many eyes at the window.
Friends of yours?
No.
No.
God, no.
I scoff, but it comes off sounding more like a hiss.
A day on the job where I don't have to deal with those hellspawn tracking their carbon footprint in here is a day well spent.
That's what I thought.
She chuckles to herself. It reminds me of how snide some of my college professors were. They're launching their hand and their head up their ass. She swipes away a strand of sweat that drips down her cheek.
And what, pray tell, did you think this time?
That I was wrong about you.
I devote myself to Pup, picking off more pieces of the pancake to get to him. Whatever I can do to make it look like I'm not paying attention to her. Always making sure to keep her worth in the corner of my eye.
Last night, I could have sworn I saw some conflict swimming around in those dead eyes of yours. Sniffling in the corner, crying about just how tired you were.
Zipping her jacket all the way, she starts to fan herself. With a slight breeze doesn't cool down my simmering blood. It's like she's trying to roast me until I burn. What gives her the right to pry? To poke at me till I spill my guts. I'm not here to be judged.
The only conflict last night was you three. Of course I'd be tired. Why do you care?
Because I'm
Because I'm tired too. Tired of you people prioritizing that ranger image so people don't realize you're actually hired thugs.
You're just one branch on a tree that doesn't even care about you. A bureaucratic arm I'd rather see cut off than fester. You're not here to educate. You're not here to preserve. Not unless preservation looks like a permit. No. You're here to protect the bottom line. To shake people down when they just want to get away from the hell you've created. To make sure there's enough resources intact to vacuum money up when your masters come calling. I've seen your type before. You don't care. Putting on that dumb hat just makes you think you do.
You're wrong. I was different. I actually did care. Right? There was never any glory in this. Just a slow and descent into misery. Unless that's where the glory is at. Probably for being a glorified security guard, that was as a janitor, cleaning out messes of the only people lower on total than me. Because the only thing that separates them from me is what? Me caring enough to be miserable for it? Of course, if I'm miserable, well, that means
You're right. Maybe I don't.
I bend over and pat Pup's head. Pausing my life more, but I stand
Maybe
up.
caring got too hard. Maybe it wasn't worth the pain it caused.
Take several steps, stopping at a chair.
There is one thing I care about, though.
Sweat runs down Yosemite's cheeks in streams. She pants heavy breaths, her chest heaving in and out.
Getting you the hell out of here. I'm radioing this in.
That's right, Eve. Do what you have to do. Do what you have done all along. Start with a fossilized radio on the desk. Yosemite shoots out of her chair. Zion cowers back.
Go ahead. Do it. Prove to me you're just another.
Her voice dissolves into breathy air. There's a solid thump. When I turn around, she sprawled out on the floor.
Yosemite!
Before I can even connect the dots, Zion and Yellowstone are already at her side, on her knee. Yellowstone grabs a sack of paper from the table and fans her. Zion squeezes her hand. Reach back over and bend the knee. Heat radiates from her like an oven. I press my hand against her forehead. As soon as I touch her skin, my hand burns. I yelp and pull away. It feels like I just touched a skillet and that burn seared through a layer of skin.
A fever?
Zion shakes her head.
A fire.
Yosemite opens her eyes, glossy and unfocused. Her breath pumps in and out as she fights to get up.
Don't move. You'll make it worse.
She lets out a pained groan. Small hole burns through her jacket sleeve. Orange embers crisping around the edges. It feels like a cigarette being snuffed out. Like a cigarette.
Oh no.
Oh no. Swing open the doors and rush onto the porch. A faint smell of smoke tickles my nose. Maybe just a campfire.
Not good.
I'm back on the counter, snap my hat and pull it over my head. Yellowstone glances back and forth in impulsive panic, only words of comfort Yosemite. Silence sniffs back a few tears, and looks at me with wavering calmness. Tiny voice cracks a little.
How far is it?
I don't answer. That familiar smoky smell, harsher than a chimney, drifts into the cabin. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure how they know what's going on. But after these last 12 hours, I'm not taking any risks.
Get her to the couch. And whatever you do, stay here.
But Eve, we can...
Around outside... Don't do that. I went outside slamming the door before Yellowstone could finish. Yeah, pull up the menu screen is my right button. I keep doing that. I sprint down the path, swatting away the branches and leaves. My eyes start to burn like they've been open for too long. But no matter how many times I blink, that poking sting doesn't go away. A crowd of voices yell up ahead, all shouting over each other, and all scared.
Put it out! Put it out!
I'm doing what I can. Now stay back and quit crying. What do we tell you, man? You just had to be the rugged mountain man.
He gets it. He didn't do it on purpose.
I finally tear my way into a small clearing circled by trees, just a big enough space for morons to cause trouble. A patch of blazing red dances on top of a pile of twigs beneath the tree. Fire reaches out on both sides like a trail of dynamite, splitting into a short V. The trunk of the tree is blackened with soot. A group of familiar campers, I only recognize them by their jackets, stomp on the knee-high flames. All their faces twisted in fear. The one that I talked to last night swats his green jacket over. But that's gonna make any difference now.
What the hell is going on here?
Most of their faces go sheet white. For a moment, they forget about the fire. The kid with the green jacket just keeps flying to the ground. Yet wherever he lifts it back up, the flames cry that much higher.
You. 3 seconds to tell me what happened.
I point to him, and this time he manages to pull himself away. He turns to me, his eyes red and watery from the smoke.
We were...
1,
I thought it put it out.
2,
I didn't mean to.
3.
Get out of the way before your jacket catches.
March over and shove him into his friends. He didn't resist, stumbling into their arms like a limp scarecrow.
All of you, get away from here. Back to the campground.
They watched me with wide, vacant stares. If I were a truck driver, I would have mowed them down by now.
Move it!
All except one. The others start tripping their way through the woods. The kid with the green jacket stares at the growing fire, his knees quivering. His little girlfriend glances back and cups her hands over her mouth.
On! Let her take care of it!
He shakes himself out of it, and wipes his eyes as he runs off into the woods. My attention turns to the fire. Stopping on it was just submerged, me waist deep in the blaze. The base of the tree trunk ignites, and the embers float down onto scattered bast twigs that make lines for the surrounding trees. Dig my boot into the bound and kick clouds of dirt onto it. Specks of ember are snuffed out, but the fire remains just as tall. Unstrapping my walkie-talkie from my waist, I press the comm button and speak into it. Though to whoever's listening, it probably sounds like an anxiety attack.
To Illuminae Station, this is Ranger Addams. We have a situation behind the cabin post. 1070. I repeat, 1070. Get dispatch to send out a fire unit.
A broken blaze crackles through the static. Adams, 1070, repeat, nature, fire?
To Illuminae Station, do you read me? To Illuminae Station.
Look around really just how caged in my trees I am. No wonder a single total jumble. They didn't notice a fire extinguisher at the cabin. The station less than a mile away. Frantic could warn them of how quickly this thing's getting out of control. Scanning the clearing. Snow is still on the ground. Half melted and tossed around splotches. It's not a lot, but it could work. Scrape out as much snow as I can sandwich together. Lots of black dirt, strained and white. It feels like dry ice in my hands. Toss it over the fire. Most of the snow melts it in an instant. About a section of the fire is extinguished along with it. For a brief second, relief washes over me, but just as fast, it's ripped away. The fire flares up, engulfing more of the tree. I once sense the heat kisses my skin, the flames inching closer. The forest fire on the first day. Wonderful. Taking in threes, never steps back, I glance over my shoulder. Finding our station is the only way, I guess I have no choice. My legs bend and I take my first giant step, but before I can take another, a shrill voice breaks through the woods.
Eve!
Yosemite launches past the trees and into the clearing. Branches and leaves cling to her clothes. She skids to a stop, her eyes locking onto the fire.
Okay, so that's happening.
What are you doing here?
Eve! There you are!
She offers a stiff salute.
We're here to help!
Her voice is muted, buried under the crackling of the fire.
We?
Descending from above the trees, Diana flaps her wings as she glides down to me, stopping to meet me face to face.
We can't do this alone.
I told you to stay at the cabin.
Miss Eve, if this doesn't get put out soon, there won't be a cabin.
Her usual meek voice rings through with mature clarity. Like an untamed weed, the flames shoot up taller. Branches look like candle wicks. Smaller flames snake to surrounding trees, lighting the very soil aflame. I hate to bring non-pork personnel on this, but she has a point.
Fine. But as soon as things start looking hairy, I want you to get out of here.
He gives hurried nods. Good enough for me. Congrats, girls. Deputized.
Gather up as much snow as you can and dump it on the fire. Dirt works too, but don't give the fire any extra fuel.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
We all scramble to work. Yellowstone and I search for scattered piles of snow. We scrape them up by the armload and drop them onto the fire. The snow evaporates before our eyes. Diamond flares up to the peaks of the trees, shaking any branches that are still coated white. Snow crumbles away, smothering large portions of the flames. Sounds like sizzling bacon. But as helpful as Zion's effort is, it only puts out the connecting trails of fire. The second tree cracks as flames spread across the bark. Then the next tree. The smoke is harsh and oppressive, flying right into the back of my nose and filling my lungs with buckets of burning air. Twitching is the only way to see through the pain, so my eyes shrivel up in their sockets. Through a fit of faint coughs, Close the Yellowstone Zion, hoping to where a water course in front of me or up.
No good. We need to get out. ASAP.
Wait! I have an idea!
Save it. If we stay here, we're toast.
Boy, I'm pretty sure Zion ignores me. Went to the Yellowstone board instead.
Yellowstone, you know I love you lots, right? Course I do! Love you lots too! But the fire! I know. Which is why I'm really super sorry for what I'm about to do. Please don't hate me. Huh? How could I ever hate my Earth Inc?
Zion raises up her tiny leg and stomps down Yellowstone's foot. Snapping her branches, crackling at the fires enough the sky's crunching, I heard. The Zion digs for killing the Yellowstone shoot right into her toes. There's a wrecking whine. The pain is delayed.
Why?
The high-pitched whine cranks up a frequency, growing as sharp and piercing as a fire alarm. A few sniffs, and it dissolves into bawling, shrieking straight into my eardrums. I go from showing my eyes from the smoke to covering my ears to drown out the crowning. The rain rattling shriek piercing my skull. Water bubbles from the opening on Yellowstone's head, boiling like a pot on the stove. The explosive power of a gunshot. A geyser of water shoots out of her head, spraying into the air.
Whoa, 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 what?
Good. You're doing great. Just keep crying. I'll try.
Yellowstone keeps the long forward sobbing going. The water sprinkles down on me, pulling me off in the midst of the hellish heat. Wait, that's it.
I hear you loud and clear, kid.
Shoot Zion a thumbs up. I have to give it to her. This is a smarter plan than anything I could have come up with.
Yellowstone, aim for the fire.
Okay.
Flowing like a child lost in the supermarket, Yellowstone obeys, bowing her head and blasting the geyser with the burning trees. Zion latches onto Yellowstone's waist, guiding the rushing of water to the flames. It reminds me of a firefighter aiming a hose. Spraying red and orange rings as the water splashes down on it. Bit by bit, the fire dies down. Smoke, lighter than the grave fumes that choked the air only seconds ago, blankets the clearing with a layer of mist. The roaring of the flames quiets into the snaps and pops of the campfire, till all I hear are Yellowstone's hushed whimpers. Her tears in the geyser dried up, the simple of twisting off a faucet. I thought it's slowly burning out. It's pretty cool. Three of us hack our lungs, retreating from the smoke so we can get a better look.
Is it out? Did we get it all?
Yellowstone brushes away the remaining streaks of tears.
Looks like it.
Scuffs the heel of my boot against the dirt, just in case there are any stray sparks.
Yellowstone!
Silent tackles Yellowstone's legs, snuggling her face into her jacket.
I'm so proud of you. You did really good out there. You were so, boss. That's how you say it, right? Gee whiz. You really think so?
She wraps her arms around Zion and brings her in for a hug.
You did pretty swell out there, too. That was some quick thinking.
I crack a smile. How can I not? We just stopped this whole section of the park from going up in smoke. Also, these two might be adorable. So I can't help but shudder at what would have happened if I weren't here. And it's all because of those punks. Another group of careless campers. If it's not painting on rocks, it's hunting without a license. It's not hunting without a license, it's somehow starting a forest fire in the rising cold of early spring. I smile. A small burst of happiness, and short-lived. Growing sense of duty lights up my guts, raging against the fire. I start trudging my way out of the clearing.
Miss Eve,
Thanks for the help. But you two need to get back to the cabin
where are you going?
to snuff out another fire before it spreads.
The rage stews inside me, bubbling like a pressure cooker. I storm out of the woods. Pups howls yelp out from the cabin as I pass it. Of course this would happen. Of course it would. How could Jesse think things would actually get better here? Why would I even humor that optimistic junk? After all this time, I should know better. I should know how these people operate. I should know every thoughtless bastard tells themselves they aren't the problem, that one slip up won't hurt anything. How the old men grumble about permits and feel enticed enough to throw their empty cans of beer into the lake, as so for 6 figures was tossed to us, like tossing leftovers to dogs. It's not enough that I'm holding to the greedy laziness of bureaucrats and drooling masses. Land has to be too. The velvet lusciousness, airbrushed with greens and yellows, and on those dewy autumn mornings, the brown and orange of harvest. The salt and pepper mountaintops with the rushing waterfalls, from the impenetrable Rockies to the harsh beauty of the Badlands, to the sparkling shores of the Pacific and Atlantic. Just another resource to export, the profit off of, to enjoy then and abandon. If that's how it's gonna be, if that's how the world we've built, well, let me be the first to try and knock it down. When I get to the camp, the Brat Pack is huddled in front of a tent. Shakes and blows with the wind, held down only by stakes driven to the ground. They speak in anxious whispers, unaware of my presence. Kid Rain Jack puffs away on a cigarette, combing his fingers through his messy hair. His girlfriend is the first to see me charging over. She mumbles his name, but by the time he notices me, I'm already in his out face. And I'm by the collar and yanking him from the safety of his group. I twist his shirt so my knuckles press against his neck.
I've met a lot of idiots on this job, but you must be a real protege.
Like the splitting of the Red Sea, his friend's career pass around.
Whoa, take it easy, lady.
This is assault! Oh my god, do you know how unethical this is?
Yeah, almost as bad as arson. Wanna report it?
That shuts her up. I'm not going to lose any sleep because I dangled my slice of authority over these idiots. Not now.
What was rattling in that skull of yours, huh? You a firebug? This what gets you off? Or are you just stupid?
This moron, with his ironed out, wrinkleless brain, can only find himself to stutter. As he shakes, a pack of cigarettes bounces around in his breast pocket.
That's what I thought.
I tug him closer. He swallows. His arms up, brushing against my fist.
Listen here, you little shit.
Finally, he breaks out of his tonic state and struggles to pull away. This just pisses me off more. I snatched a lit cigarette from his mouth and crumpled it up in my hand.
I've said listen.
The cigarette singes my palm. I hardly feel it, thanks to the adrenaline. Maybe this is what finally puts the fear of me into him, because he gasps, audibly. The last of the smoke whips out of his mouth.
Do you know how sick I am of this? How often I have to sit by and watch people like you destroy good things? Does it even register? Is it some kind of game?
My throat crunches. My eyes sting with tears. I'll blink it away, but my unclouded vision only shows a fist clenching his shirt. There's an awkward silence as his friends glance away. Even he starts once, but I only grip tighter.
What gives you the right to burn the last few pieces of dignity this scarred husk of a rock has left? To raise any proof that we were once humble enough to live and breathe and die with the world we got dropped into? Before we got so tied up with ourselves, we felt the urge to make a distinction.
His eyes swoop up above me and linger there.
Answer me! Tell me I'm not just a bandage for your arrogance!
I was just trying to start a campfire with a cigarette, okay?
Bird calls. For a moment, all I hear is the wind. Tears fall absent-mindedly from my cheeks. Campfire. Cigarette. 4 years of pent-up anger, forgotten passion, frustrating confusion, all comes rocking out at me as I swing my fist at his face. A hand grips my arm before I can connect.
That's enough, Eve.
Spin around, seething with fury. Yosemite stares down at me. Oh, worse for wear, but tall and straight like a sequoia. Almost says alright. He towers over the campers. You look like shrubs in comparison.
You've already chewed them out. They were just about to leave anyway.
Her voice is stern and certain. She scans the group of campers, her steely gaze punctuated by the residue of sweat that sticks to her cheeks. They each give off an affirming nod. The kid in the green jacket wiggles out of my death grip, and a whole lot of them scramble further into the camp.
Why the hell would you do that? They're just going to call.
Hold on, let me. I love these CGs. She envelopes her arms around me and pulls me into a hug. The hat blows off.
Thank you. I needed to hear that.
What?
Voices of whisper that caresses my ear.
You've done enough. At least for today.
I've done enough? I hear that and go low. Over her shoulder, in the thick of the woods, I can see the cabin. Nestled under the pines like a forgotten paradise. The citrus smell of lemongrass sticks to Yosemite's jacket. Her skin, though no longer feverish, is warm like an embrace from a blanket. The image of the cabin blurs as my breath shakes. For the first time in maybe 4 years, tears aren't angry or frustrated or confused. Only sad. I can finally let them be sad.
I just wanted to protect what I love.
Yosemite asks, as if her breath has been sucked away. She pushes my head down, pressing it against her shoulder as she strokes my hair. I cry into her jacket, and tears dampen the hide and leather.
You're a fool.
She chuckles. I can hear the soft grin in her voice.
But maybe we need more fools.
The tears keep coming, so much I think I might choke on them. But with each breath I draw, and every step I take, my throat gets tighter. Maybe he's trying to wring it out after all this time. To be commended like that means more to me than approval or a pat on the back from Jesse. It's validation. It's acknowledgement. Even if what I'm doing is meaningless, I've still devoted myself to it and suffered. Maybe that suffering isn't entirely worthless, after all. And as Yosemite holds me, while the wind howls through the branches and the larks whisper above us, I still start to think that maybe it's worth it. To hold on and suffer for just a bit longer. Validate by Yosemite.
Just listening to all that gives me a headache. How on earth did you find so much trouble on your first day?
Gracie's voice pops with static over the headphones. Turn from the radio and back to the girls. Yosemite dusts the corner, suspecting for even a tiny speck. Zion rubs Puff's pink pot belly in front of the roaring fireplace. Yosemite jolts down notes on whatever scrap piece of paper she can find on the table, littered with them.
I guess I just have a penchant for it.
But still, to just stumble on a fire like that.
She says it with a phony curiosity that seesaws with genuine concern. She suspects something and she's trying to get it out of me. As sly as ever, Jessie.
Well, in any case, I'm just happy you're safe. We got awfully lucky with this one.
With all this wind, you better believe we did. It could have been an even bigger pain in the neck.
A pain in the neck is still a pain in the neck, Eve. Still going to be sore when you're hunched over all that paperwork.
First two sentences are so layered with subtext, I'm not sure where my exhaustion from having to write it ends. Jesse's lament from having to read it begins.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get around to that.
You'll have it for me the next time I visit. Maybe if you're nice to them, someone at the other station will transcribe it for you.
Sunshine beams through her sadistic voice. I can feel the hand cramps already.
But Eve?
Moods are serious.
Are you sure there isn't anything you want to tell me?
Not a thing.
Okay then.
She moves on from it, though I'm entirely sure she's convinced.
In that case, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And the day after that.
You really don't have to.
Oh, but I want to.
Over and out, Jessie.
She giggles.
Over and out, Eve. All grubby hands off my trail mate!
Radio cuts static. Moving my ruptured eardrums for cover on the road. Come on with that third one. Save. The radio cuts out in static. Moving my ruptured eardrums for cover on the road. I set the headphones aside and turned to see everyone with Yosemite looking at me.
I knew it all along. You're just a soft serve softie. With the cherry on top.
Yosemite flips the paper over and scoffs.
The pitted kind, maybe. Careful. If you bite down, she'll crack your teeth.
I join her at the table and collapse into my chair.
Zip it. Or next time I'll actually let you burst into flames.
It was just a fever. I would have been fine. Eventually.
Like that makes any sense. What if there's an actual campfire, or lightning strikes a tree? What happens then, huh?
What did I tell you about when you're thinking? If this truce is going to continue, you're going to need to expand to the abstract.
Your existence is plenty enough abstract for me already.
Yosemite pauses over her work. She looks up and smirks. I smirk back. Who knows? It might be fun to have someone around to spar with. At the very least, it's more engaging than any campfire thrown apart. This girl bites back.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Yellowstone and Zion stiffen to attention. Pep rolls over onto his putt butt.
If you're bunking here, I want this place to stay immaculate. Last thing I want to deal with after clocking out is a pigsty.
Yellowstone will handle it.
She can start cooking for one more, too. That's so mean, guys. How can you just sell me up the river like that? Oh, that reminds me. What are you going to do with those campers, Miss Eve? Flip their lids? Make them apologize? And take them out back? Have them pinky swear not to do it again?
None of the above. I'm letting them off the hook. If I'm lucky, they'll get picked off by a killer in the woods. Otherwise, everybody gets one free pass.
Both look shocked. After glancing at each other, they shrug. Peps trots over and curls up at my feet.
Now that's funny.
What is it this time?
For someone who doesn't care, you sure put a lot of energy into it.
National Park Girls will have our Parks edition. On to last CGI episode 1.
And welcome to me and Zion's first fireside chat. Hello, it's very nice to be here. Today we're gonna do our gal Eve proud and talk about the history of the National Park Service. Before Yosemite finds out we took her books, I hope. Aw, don't be square, cutie. We got this. It all started back in the 10th century when Leif Erikson... That's a little too far back, Yellowstone. Oh, Columbus and his pilgrims, then. I don't think that's quite right, either. It's a good guess, though. The National Park Service actually has its roots in the years following the founding of the United States. In 1790, after getting permission from Congress, President George Washington obtained land near the Potomac River to build a new capital city. This city was named Washington, D.C. And the plan was for it to have a lot of really pretty parks and monuments. Like the Lincoln Memorial? A little too soon. But you're on the right track. These places were called the National Capital Parks, and they laid really important groundwork. Whoa, so the Park Service is old as dirt, huh? Not really. There's still a ways to go before the actual Park Service.
Learn stuff, chat.
What happened? I thought you read the book. I did, but without pictures, all those words just make me so drowsy. Oh, well, I guess I can explain. If that's okay. Knock our socks off. I'll try. Most parks were run by different groups. No one really thought about preserving land until people started looking to settle in the West. I remember what happens now. A whole bunch of hippies got misty-eyed and started thinking about how they could keep the land from getting stomped on. One of whom was...
And to expand on what they're talking about here, in the 1930s, there was this thing called a Dust Bowl, one of the bigger ones. And out in the West, what happened is people weren't just kind of building, they weren't letting grass or crops grow back and keeping roots in the soil. Well, Dust Bowl gets its name because a bunch of wind had come through. I'm simplifying this, of course, before you check it out yourself. But comes through, and all that wind picks up and creates what is named the Dust Bowl. Well, obviously that changed how people perceive things and went, okay, well, we need to have at least some roots here in the ground. Especially when things start drying up, it'll be too much to just rip away. Especially if we're just building nothing but towns, cities, and whatnot, and not putting any greenery or anything that has roots into the ground, even just a little bit. And after that, we changed our building codes to require some sort of greenery. That's why, like, if you go to like some of the older cities, there's barely any greenery, and everything's just pretty much put together, cement as far as the eye can see. But then, of course, everything after that point, you see a lot more greenery out there, and that's exactly why. Among everything else, started changing a lot from how we did farming to how we did things in the city. Changed a lot. Now I'm gonna let Zion and Yellowstone continue the rest.
George... Yeah? Harrison? No. Kathleen! George Kathleen! Phew. Yay! Good job, Yellowstone. George Catlin was an artist and writer. He lived with Native Americans and was one of the first outside of their tribes to paint Plains Indians in their day-to-day lives. While he was kicking back in South Dakota, he realized we'd be in a lot of trouble unless humans put their heads together. Not unless... By some great protecting policy of government in a magnificent park, a nation's park containing man and beast, in all the wildness and freshness of their nature's beauty. We're almost to my favorite part.
Kind of reminds me of those old anime
It's my
cuts.
favorite part too, because in 1861, the United States Congress appointed the geologist Ferdinand Hayden to lead an expedition to the Yellowstone region of Wyoming. Hey, hey, hey! That's me! That's me! Uh-huh. And he thought you were so pretty that when he came back, he asked Congress to make you a national park. Aw, he should have gone further south if he wanted to find a real cutie. Anyway, it was in 1872 when President Ulysses Grant finally signed a bill that set aside 2.2 million acres of Yellowstone as a public park. So if you think about it, you're the first national park. Jiminy Cricket, I'm old as dirt. The Antiquities Act of 1906 made it possible to protect more areas as parks and monuments, but they were run by different departments. It was confusing. So on August 25th, 1916, the National Park Service was founded. Ah, yes. The best holiday after Arbor and Earth Day. It would take a while before it got the power it has today.
Execute Executive Order 6166.
Yay! You remembered again. From then on, everything was under strict control by the Department of the Interior. And they've been yanking our chain and screwing us over ever since. You sound like like Miss Eve. It's scary.
Yeah, especially with the U.S. government having as much money as it does in its governments, in all of its departments, more is being wasted in the Department of Defense, Department of War, than even giving to one of the biggest and most respected departments out there, and the most respected agency out there. Just so happens to be the National Park Service. They are not paid enough for shit. So you can definitely see where Eve's idea has come from. Just looking at how that is all taken care of. Well, so basically I'm saying the United States spends more money on bombs and killing people than it does by killing the environment. So anything goes on about that wants to make massive changes. That's not ever going to happen. And out of every Fed out there, National Park Rangers are probably the only ones. National Park Service is literally the only agency anyone likes. You got a couple that are like, oh, you're useful, but these are the only ones people actually like. And I also really think it's cool that they got a visual novel about national parks. They've been doing like, let me see if I can do this. I'm trying to see if I can find. How is that one? I'm not trying to look up for that. Got it for the first time. Options. Trying to think. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But I saw earlier in the menu, and I'll also look for it. Go back to the title. They were giving off national park facts. I'm trying to find that again. Yeah, I'm just gonna let them do their thing and finish this, and I guess we'll stop at episode 2. I'm gonna go back to doing more mining for my brother after, and this is all taken care of. We'll write out from there. I think it's a really nice introduction to get through episode 1 though.
That's because I heard her grumble something about it earlier. She talks some mean jive, let me tell ya. Woo! Would you look at that? We're all out of time. Catch you next time, campers. And remember to love our parks. Bye-bye.
Zion thinks you're incredibly awesome. Fish Yellowstone Zion's fireside chat. It's so cool. Oh. From what and from who? Grounded, but I don't remember telling myself to my head. I'm trapped observing my own body. There are people crowded around me and gasping. There are trees too, a whole corner of them, in fact. A few of them are even lined up in a row. All of them are dripping. Not with sap, not with water or dew, not as nature intended. It drips with a fresh green paint. It bleeds into the bark. Look at the first tree and there's a trail. From where I'm standing, looks like it connects to the next tree in a row. Long serpent-like body painted through it. This goes on for so long, too long. Each dripping paint down to the soil, consuming its roots. Then finally, at the last tree, there's the head of a dragon. He's wearing a baseball cap and smoking a blunt. I know it's a blunt because the smoke is a lighter shade of green. The smoke that surrounds me. The smoke that becomes fog.
Eve, what are you doing?
A voice springs out of the fog. I recognize it. Her. Jessie. Why does she sound scared? Why does she sound shocked? Why does she sound furious?
Teaching him a lesson.
Is that what I did? What did I do? On the ground, there's a man withering on dirt, diving into a patch of grass. She's covering his mouth, his nose. Blood seeps through his fingers. Blood seeps into the dirt.
You bitch! What the hell? You broke my jaw! You broke my jaw!
His voice is muffled. Words tumble out in panic.
Yeah? Well, your fucking neck is next. Don't you take another step.
My hand, I assume it's my hand, balled up into a fist. What's the knuckles? Knuckles. Open it and stare at my palm. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I can then kind of runs it there. Stare at my palm. So what was the crack?
Oh, God. It hurts. This is assault, you whore. I'll press charges. Sue you and this entire park.
Oh, crack was down his face when my fist hit it.
How about I work those charges up to murder then?
He reels back, raising his hands to shield himself. Green paint staining his hands begins to mix with the blood. I start to stomp over to him. Stomp, stomp, stop, stop,
Stop! You've gone too far this time, Eve.
Not far enough. Not until he's learned some respect.
stop. This is talking to me from behind, shading me with full Nelson.
Get off of me!
Please, stop.
All you're doing is incriminating yourself. Now stand down!
No! I don't care anymore!
I elbow Jesse in her gut, struggling to break free, but her grip is like a locked chain. Someone stop her.
This is an order, Addams!
Someone stop me.
Eve!
Stop.
Eve!
Stop.
Eve!
Damn. And that's gonna be the first save. Yeah, I always how that worked. So I should have been in bed. Sweat sticks to my pajamas. Breath wriggles into my suffocated lungs as I gasp desperately for air. A pair of arms wraps around my chest like a constricted rope. With a few grunts, I wiggle onto my side. My cheeks roll on into a shadow pool of drool as I confront it with Yellowstone's smiling face and buffalo print pajamas.
Administration is gonna flip your fries and malt.
It's no one else than me. She squeezes me tighter. I think I prefer Jesse putting me into a submission hold. I should have put a request for a door. Yellowstone gives me an unconscious grunt and snores into the fabric of my shirt. Scratch that. Should have been a request for a durable lock. I fall back onto my pillow. The faded morning light glitters through the window, anchoring me to the present, where my worst mistakes are behind me, just over my shoulder, and still behind me. The main volcano protruding from Yellowstone's head puffs out white dots of smoke, matching the rhythm of her breath. While the smoke until it dissipates into the vast dome. From there I can the wind beams that go across it. So we went, okay, so we went like the last. Do some nightmares we live every day.
That's it. I'm switching to decaf before bed.
Chapter 2 Get killed by a volcano. I'll flip you awake too. So I parked up. You can shove them, but I will judge you. Just driving you to no compost. It's the spirit having your cabin. To me, oh, see unless your notice is valid. New good friends. Yes, the game has hidden more. Wait, the game has hidden more. Huh. Alrighty. I think that's. I think that'd be a good spot to go from there. Or it was in the credits, I think. I don't know. Options. Data. Where do they have the? That was cute. Okay, it was under sound. Look there next time. Options here. August 25th, 1916. I think that just kind of changes. Option, sound. Artist and writer George Carlin was one of the first fish shorts founded in the National Park Service. So they got like cool random facts here too. Okay, I just put that here. But yeah, so I think it's really cool that they got the national parks facts here too. Hmm. Well, okay. Streaming progress. Checked it. I'm here and the vibe is immaculate already. In progress. It's good. Okay, but Yep. All right. We got in chapter 2, which I think is a really good stopping point for now. Let me get a. Yeah, let me get a raid going. So we're going to go and there's a raid. There you go, just like that. Now I'm gonna raid. I'm gonna do it to myself, but whatever. And look, I'm gonna be raiding into my brother because it'd be really cool to do that. Is that a little different? It did something a little different. We're going to go. I'm going to go raid my brother, who's currently, as of the stream, doing a 24-hour stream with 13 hours and almost 14 hours on the clock. So we're going to go over and tell him he's doing pretty good. And then I think I'll see you guys some other. I'll have to check to see what my stream schedule should look like this week. But after that, I think we're gonna head back and do more National Park Girls. Do a lot more of them and kind of get to another part of the game. Sorry, we can only do almost 3 hours, but we got to chapter 1, and we can literally go and there are 5 episodes altogether. So we are going to just fist through the game. I think it'd be cool. And I'm gonna go right ahead. Okay. Let me start that right up. I just realized how screwed up the way things. Trying to make shit, and there you go. Okay, check it out. What the fucking way is that about? And that should work. see you guys over there in just a sec. There's the red message. Off the look. And W right? I figured I'd give you some right over there. Speaking of Noah, you see the new badge that you got? This is the it's what is the lead moderator badge. So you're my lead mod. Something Twitch added not that long ago. Whoever you want to be your lead mod is gonna have that. And but it has a mod too. So then I'm gonna send all these peeps over there. You're doing great, buddy. Don't fuck this up. And I'll see you guys in the next stream where we do more National Park Girls. Then we'll probably switch to Dark Revival after that one. So, right. Go show some love to my brother. And I will see you guys over there.
Should be a button.
Great, buddy. Don't fuck this up.
Fuck this up. I need those points. Maybe you have to be following him. Are you following him?
I am following. Yeah, I'm following him.
God dang, you assume I wouldn't follow.
Go show some love to my brother. And I will see you guys over there.
Oh, okay.
It's myself. No. It's myself.